kan daar niet over spreken.
Is Holland niet een officiële benaming van Nederland? Test, shalom. Shalom. Ja?
Ga maar even kwaliteit zelf checken.
Dat is niet opladen, dus. Dat jij die oplader is. Denk ik.
Ja. Nee, hij past het gewoon aan het licht.
Ja.
Dan moet je bij die instellingen van beeldhelderheid moet je niet automatisch klikken.
Heb ik gedaan, maar dat ging niet.
Blijft zo?
Ja. Dus anders moet ik Araya straks vragen als hij er is.
Alright, shalom. This is GMS Holland, back in the highways and byways. Before we start off, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there. We're spreading this word, the sincerity, and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Gone. So we're back out here once again, teaching our people, the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, who they are, pursuant to the scriptures. Okay, we're talking to these people about the set judgment that is to come upon this world. Okay, start off with 1 Timothy chapter 2. Start at verse 1.
This is 1 Timothy 2, verse 1. I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplications, prayer, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men.
Yeah, man. So we make supplications for each other that walk in this truth, man. Okay, we have been destroyed as a nation, man. Which the word destroy goes into being a nation. It's like it goes into being destructured. We have been destructured as being a nation. Okay, there's division. We are divided. We are not one, and especially not one under the Heavenly Father. So we make supplications for the ones that are under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We make supplications for those that try to do the will of the Most High. Go on.
This is 1 Timothy 2, verse 2. For kings and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty.
Yeah, man. So we got to walk honest and godliness towards each other, man. Okay, those that are above you and those that are under you, make sure that you live peaceable with these brothers, man. And don't defraud each other, don't lie to each other. Go on.
Got a precept. This is Romans 12. Romans 12, verse 18. Verse 17. Verse 16. This Romans 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one towards another. Mind not high things, but condescend to man of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Prove things honest in the sight of all men.
Yeah, man. So it might be that some brother, does something unto you which you don't like. That doesn't mean that you should do the same thing unto him back, man. We don't render evil for evil. We don't do that. Okay? You confront the brother with it. You rebuke him. You correct him for his bullshit that he did. And if he repents, you forgive him, man, and you keep it going. But you don't let someone else's bullshit behavior affect yours, man. You see? Because that's how the wicked and the foolish walk in this world, man. That the blind lead the blind, and both shall fall into a ditch. Okay? That's that copycat mentality, man. Copy each other's behavior. Oh, but he pulled the gun. He carried the gun, so let me carry a gun too, then. No, man, you should not be in that mentality. Yes, Israel is being referred to as sheep, but we have one shepherd, man, and the shepherd decides where we go. You see? And then what's happening among Israel is that we have the wolves coming in among the sheep, and they are trying to scatter the sheep, man. They are scattering the sheep. They are messing everything up. Okay? And that's Esau. Esau comes in among us, divide and conquer and stuff like that. Shalom, Maki. Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Shem Kaka, Shalom, Maki. Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Shem Kaka. Gelijk omdraaien als je daar bent, al omdraaien. Shalom.
That's the precept. So Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Yeah, man. So if a brother is if you overtake a brother in a fault, if you see like, hey, this behavior of yours is bullshit. If you what up? Why?
Yeah. This one, shoot. Then I panic. I should have listened to Yamaha. Just leave it like this, and leave it normal here, and then yeah. So now I'm gonna be.
Messed up.
Yeah. Felt like like that's what I feel like. Shady.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahweh.
Yeah, man. So you gotta help each other out, bear each other's burdens. Like the brother just read, if your brother be overtaken in a fault, he which are spiritual, you bring him down to that meek and humble spirit, man. Not to behave like that, instead of starting to behave the same way as him. That is not according to the scriptures, man. Okay? You need to be better in the sight of the Most High and don't become worse because of him, his behavior. You know, that's why it also stresses a lot of points about watch out who you hang with. Okay, don't be with the ungodly, because why? The chances are that you're gonna copy their behavior, man. Okay, Jake is like that, man. If you move in among brothers in the other place, in the other city, you start to act like that, man. Start to use the same words. Okay? But that's why Yahushua also said, do what they say, don't do what they do. Because the Pharisees, the things that they said were accordingly, the things that they spoke about concerning the law was good, but they was not doing it. So some brothers have knowledge, but they don't move according to that knowledge. They don't apply the scriptures. So then you don't do what they do. You do what they say. Because they have the understanding, but they just don't follow it. You know, we know a guy, he knows a lot of scriptures, man, but he doesn't apply them. Okay, so when he's teaching, he's kind of being a hypocrite, but still listen to what he's saying, because what he says, what he teaches, that is the right doctrine, man. You see?
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
Because I went and made a video about this, I think, last week. Job 28 and 28 says, you have understanding, but when you depart from evil, let me get it real quick, that's when you have understanding. That's when I said, I was in my mind. Now, this is Job 28 and 28. And unto men he said, behold, the fear of the Most High, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So you might have this wisdom, but if you don't act, because to depart from evil, that is the understanding. So you have to bring this knowledge into action. As long as you don't act accordingly, as long as you don't put these scriptures to use, you will not get the full, complete understanding of it.
Exactly.
That's what we do. We practice it. We fumble, we stumble, we let the ball fall. We wipe, get the dust off our feet and stuff. But then we do it again. And that's the perfection that we're striving towards.
Exactly.
You can't keep all the laws perfectly, but at least you try. To take action. That's important.
Yeah, man. That's why the Lord, he was talking about those hypocrites all the time, man. Okay, and now even if you call someone a Pharisee, you're referring to a man that is a hypocrite, man. So they had a lot of knowledge, man. They knew about the scriptures, they knew about the law, they knew about righteousness, but they was just not keeping it themselves. Okay, which that made them a generation of vipers, like the Lord said. They were like snakes, man. They want you to do it good, which that's a good thing, but they themselves don't do it. Okay, so you can't come like that. So when a brother offends you in something, you restore him to meekness and humbleness. Man. You don't mess him up, you know, or you don't want to destroy him with the fire from heaven. No, man. You make sure that he comes back into the way of righteousness. You make sure that he comes back, you know, in the right mind, in the right spirit, man.
In the physical. Because the last part of that verse also says, considering yourself, least to also be tempted. So you have to think about yourself in that same situation as the brother that you're correcting. If you come upon that man, think about when the next time you're going to be rebuked. Do you want to be rebuked in a meek and calm manner, or do you want to get the full blast? You know?
Yeah, and sometimes you got to get the full blast, man. Sometimes you got to get the full blast. Sometimes you got to learn by pain, man. Scriptures speak about it. The same man shall know it after that by pain. In the reincarnation, you come back into this world, you get jacked up. Now, if you have the understanding of reincarnation, you know you messed up in your past life, man. For what you don't know, but it's gonna give you it's supposed to give you a humble state of mind to not act like that again, man. You see, you should seek the Lord and His mercy. You see?
Also have the Matthew where it says, trespass against them. Yeah. This is Matthew chapter 18, starting at verse 15. Moreover, if that brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained that brother. So, if a brother does something that offends you, speak with the man one-on-one. You know, and if he listens to you, you know, you basically reconcile again, and then you'll be cool after that. You know, it says also, if you read on, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every mouth may be established. So if he doesn't want to listen to you the first time, you know, take a couple of brothers with you so that you can have the same conversation, but then at this time there are witnesses that can back up the story and can recall what was being spoken. Verse 17, and if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church, but if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as indeed a man and a publican. So even after the second time you try to talk to him, it didn't work out, you know, it's going to be a counsel. And if eventually he doesn't want to listen during the counsel and nothing comes out, then basically that's it for the man. It talks about him being regarded as a man and a publican, man. That means you're going to be kicked out of the truth. You know, your side won't happen, you know, in the ministry with you. So better take heed to what brothers are saying. You know?
You have it? 25? Yeah. I started at 24, going back to 1. Because I never thought...
Look at this. My finger was already at 25.
Whereas the scripture, your finger is already on it. The most I'd be like, just open the book. Just open the book, it's right there. You go on your phone, using technology. The most I'd be like, just open the book. Come on, go.
Yeah, we don't.
This is Matthew 25, verse 34. Then shall the king, let me see, yeah. Let me just go to that. Matthew 25 and 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Exactly, man. So the king refers to Yahushai. The king refers to Yahushai. Okay? And Yahushai, Shalom, Yahushai, king refers to Yahushai, and Yahushai is saying, like, take care of your brothers, man. When they need your help, help them. But let's go to Sirach 28. Sirach 28. Because you also have to understand the flip side of it, which is that there are people that are deceivers, man. So the scriptures speak about being circumspect, man. You always have to know the state of your flock, and when you do good, know unto whom you do it. Okay, go on. Because you got dudes out there, man, coming on the comment boards, talking about, hey, I need money, send me money. Females send the same message to
Copy paste.
copy paste. Yeah, I have a little girl. My husband died. I'm a widow. I need money for diapers. Send me money, brother. Shalom. Copy, paste it to another brother, man. That's what they be doing, man. They be scamming, man. They be scamming, man. Our people, there are Israelites among our people that use this truth to scam people, man.
Filthy lucre's sake.
For filthy lucre's sake, exactly. So yes, everything is about your brother, to help him out whenever he's in need. But sometimes not helping him financially or physically, it's also helping him. If you tell him, hey, you got yourself into this situation, you better get yourself out of it. Sometimes the hard way is gonna help him, you know, get the shit together, man. You see? There was a dude in the camp. He used to get a lot of money, man. He used to work hard, get his money. But what would he do? He would blow his money in 2 weeks. And then he would have nothing no more. Everything is gone. And then he comes to ask brothers for money. And I told him, no, man. Make sure that you... Yeah. You see, and then he would end up 2 weeks asking brothers, hey, can you buy me food? Okay. But the first 2 weeks he was balling, man. And not with the brothers, without the brothers. Balling without the brothers, man. You see? So then, at a certain point, when this brother comes and asks you this money again, you tell him no. Now you better suffer through it, man. See that you do it no more again. If you see something has consequences, then you're gonna step back and be like, okay, shit, I shouldn't roll like this no more, man. Okay, but if some people always help you out when you act this way, you're gonna keep acting the same way, man. And that's why also the hearts of the children of Israel is set to do wicked, man, because there's no judgment that is coming upon them. Yeah, Ecclesiastes.
This is Ecclesiastes 8.
I already had it too.
Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. Because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Exactly. So this is the same principle, man. Because they don't get the consequences for their wickedness, they keep doing that. So when you don't feel the consequences of blowing your money like that, they gonna keep doing it, man. Or I only have to go to the brother, he gonna provide the rest of the month for me. No, man. You gotta check out, you gotta walk balanced in life, man. Everything is about balance, man. Everything is about balance. An unjust balance is not of the Lord. Okay? Which even though the word balance there is weight scale, it's still talking about balance, man. Okay? It's still talking about balance. An unjust balance, a balance, a weight scale that is being defrauded, that is not of the Lord. You see? That is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. If you do that, if you defraud your people, that's an abomination in the sight of the Most High. But guess what? If you are not in balance, you're defrauding yourself, man. You're messing up your own life, man. Which this life that you have is borrowed. The Most High lent this life unto you. Yo, it's my life. I can do with it what I want, then. No. Because the Most High also told you to take care of your body, man. Because your body is your temple. He that destroyed the body, the Most High shall destroy him. So it's not about I do what I want type of mentality, because that shit don't get you destroyed, man. Give me that yeah, yes, Wisdom of Solomon. Read Wisdom of Solomon.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, and verse 8. In employing his labors lewdly, he maketh the vain God of the same clay, even he which a little before was made of earth himself.
Yeah, man. So a man that is made out of earth, because we are created from the dust, right? If you look at the components of our body, it consists of things that the earth contains, man. All these nutrients: iron, zinc, copper, what else? Magnesium, calcium,
Long list.
minerals.
102, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and then Irish sea moss has what? 96? 92? 92 of those components, man. That's why when we get sick, we go to the earth to add on to those nutrients, because when you get sick, you are diseased. Your body is not at ease, not in balance, because you need to stack up those nutrients again to get in balance again.
Can I add on to concerning the Aracimos? Yeah. Because the way it grows, it latches itself to the rock, and then it moves in the waves. But where it gets its nutrients from is from the rock that it attached itself to. And that's the same composition that we as people were created from.
Same thing goes for plants.
Yeah.
Plants get their nutrients from the soil that they are in, man. Okay. The same thing goes for precious stones. Precious stones have the colors that they have because of the nutrients in the ground, and they are under extreme pressure, which creates these beautiful stones, man. Okay. That's why certain stones you don't find in countries, man. You know? So before the Irish sea moss, I was talking about something.
Yeah.
The same.
He was made from the clay.
A malfunction.
And the man.
I saw that he was malfunctioning, and then I was like, "What is he looking at?" That he's like, and then I saw it myself, and I was like, "What was that talking about?" And then you say malfunction. Yeah, you're right.
He was going into how a man is creating something that he himself is also.
Oh yeah,
made
yeah.
from.
So we are created from the earth, the water, the one that started it, the water. Yeah, we are created from the earth, so we need the earth nutrients to get us back in balance, man. Okay, so we are created from the earth. So why would you create something from the earth to go and worship? We are also from the earth. Okay, and plus the scriptures explain you we have more power than this idol that you're worshiping, man. Go on.
It says, and within a little while, after returneth to the same out of the which he was taken, when his life which was lent him shall be demanded.
Yeah, man. So this man that creates a vessel of clay, after a little while, he is taken from the earth of which he makes that idol, and after a little while, he returns to that same earth out of which he took the clay, out of which he was taken also. When the life that is lent him shall be demanded. So the Most High lends you, borrows you your life. So guess what? You should handle it correctly, man. Okay, people of this world, they be like, man, God gave me my life. I can do with it what I want. No, you cannot. You cannot. When I borrow a PlayStation game from him, I borrow it. Can I do with it what I want? I can use it for the things that he knows I'm gonna use it for, which is to put the disc in and to play it. But other than that, I cannot start frisbeeing with the thing. Start frisbee with the. When I have to give it back, he gonna be like, you abuse this shit, man. Okay, that's why it also speaks about don't be abusers of mankind, which that even goes into sodomy, man. That goes into being a bundle of sticks, men with men and women with females with females, man. That ought not to be. You see, changing of kind. Okay, destroying your lungs, destroying your mental health. It's not good, man. Take care of the body that is borrowed unto you. Yeah.
This Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
Yeah, man, we should fear the Most High and keep His commandments at all costs, man. Okay, that's the conclusion of the whole matter. We received this life, okay? The Most High could have taken your life also at birth. Some children are born still, man. They call it stillborn. Here in Holland, at least. The child is born, but the spirit is already taken, man. Okay? The Most High can do that to you, but guess what? He granted you your life, so you better take care of it, man. And you better live holy in His sight. How do you live holy in His sight? By keeping His commandments, man. By trying to do the best that you can according to His laws, man. Yeah, why should I keep His laws? Because He granted you your life. He can take it. He can also take it. People don't understand the purpose of worshiping the Most High, man. He has the power to take your life if He wants, man. He ought to be feared. So, listen, you just do what He says, man. If a man has a gun pointed at your head, and if he tells you if you want to live, go on your knees. If you want to live, go sit on your ass. If you want to live, do 10 push-ups. You gonna do that shit, man. Because why? He has the power to take your life, man. All the commandments that He's gonna give you, you're gonna do because you fear Him, and He has the power to kill you. You see? Why would you do it then? Why won't you say like, yeah, it's my life. I can decide what I want to do. Bow! He shoots you in the head. When someone wants to rob you, he asks you, he tells you, give me your money. That's all he wants. He gives you one commandment. That is to give him your money. Yeah, it's my money. Bow! And he still takes your money. You see? Like me as, being into martial arts, the first thing you learn is that when a person wants to rob you or something, give him whatever he wants. You want my watch? Yeah, you can fight. You can defend yourself. But the number one rule in self-defense is to avoid the fighting, man. Avoid fighting. You want my watch? Here, you have my watch. But there's a way wherein you have to observe whether he's still there to harm you after you give it. You have to check that. You see, you have to check whether he still wants to harm you in that situation. Then you need to go to self-defense. But if you can avoid, fighting, you give him whatever he needs, man. You obey his commands because he has the power to kill you. So with the Most High, man, the Most High tells you, hey, this, that, and the third, man. Do this, that, and the third. You will live longer. If not, man, you know what? You disobey me, put you to death. What happened to Uzzah? The Most High said, keep my Sabbath holy. The Most High said, only the Levites can touch the Ark of the Covenant. Now, don't go ahead and do it. Doesn't matter what reason, man. So the Most High made a statement, man, with Uzzah, and the place was called Paras Uzzah, which means where Uzzah perished. The place got called by him, man. Perished Uzzah. He perished there. So that was to make an example on how not to disobey the word of the Most High, man. Don't touch the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, now the question has often been asked me, why are the 2/3 created then? Why are these, if the Most High wants you to be right, then why are they created? Why are those rebellious people created? As an example, man, on how not to live. The Most High wants to show you, you don't live like this. You see those type of people? Don't have no part with them. Don't be unequally yoked with them. Have no covenants with them. Don't deal with these people, man. See what they doing? It's an example. What happened when we came into the land? The Most High said, okay, Leviticus chapter 18. Before you come into the land,
don't do as they do.
Don't do as they do. Because the people of the land, their customs are vain and filthy, man, and an abomination in my sight. They defile themselves. Before you go there, let me tell you this first. Don't do as they do. Well, what are they doing then? They do this, that, and the list. They receive the whole list.
You got kicked out of the land.
Okay? You see? Filthy abominations, man. So the Most High has the power to kill. Give me Matthew 10 and 28. The Most High has the power to kill. So you worship him, you obey his commands, and you do what he says. Yeah, you do what he says, man. For fear, first and foremost, and when the fear comes, then wisdom comes. You see, fear is the beginning of wisdom. Okay, and pride is the beginning when man shall depart from the Most High. Why? When pride comes, fear disappears. Okay, when a young blood grows up, and then the OGs is there. When he was small, he used to fear them. But when he grows a little bit of muscles, he has a six pack now. He wants to come up against the OGs and be like, what's your problem then, man? Because now you're 16, 17 years old. You're bucking up against the guys that you grew up with and respected always. Because the pride kicked in. Because now you think you're something. Okay? Always stay humble in the sight of the Most High, man. Always stay humble. Always stay humble in the sight of the apostles too, man. Because this is also the same thing. Pride, knowledge puffed up.
Pride coming before destruction.
Yeah, give me that.
I got it.
And you grab nobody's calling you, man. It's just that dude from the market. Give me the scripture where it says, you see now I lost it. Knowledge puffed up.
Got the other one. This is Sirach 10, verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? You are going into it. What are you made of? You are made out of earth, out of dust, out of clay. So why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such a one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels.
Yeah, man, a covetous man. Okay, a covetous man, he will do anything, because covetousness is what? Greed. A covetous man will do anything to get more all the time, man. So he will even sell his whole life away, man, just to get more gain. Okay? He will even, use this truth as a leverage to make money, man. To the point that even at that time, Yahushua came in, he overthrew the tables, man. He flipped out. He flipped out, man. Yahushua wasn't having it, man. Why you make my father's house a house of merchandise, man? Why you use this truth as a leverage to make money with? Okay? I always give this example. This is the mentality of people that use this truth as merchandise. That say there's a ditch, okay? And you have a road. And then the road stops because of the ditch. It's a river down there. You fall into it, you're dead. And then you have a bridge. What do the wicked Israelites do? They don't tell you like, hey, you can come over here. There's a bridge. You can cross the ditch. No, they set up a gate by the bridge. And they tell you like, if you want to cross, then you have to pay me. Give me my money. They come like Smokey. Give me my money. You see? They come like that. If you want to do this, you gotta pay. You gotta, this is the only way to the other side. Buy the truth and sell it not, right? You're supposed to freely give this truth to anyone that wants to hear it, man. Because back in the days, IYC was selling their breakdowns, man. Selling their breakdowns. Okay? Apostles then was just putting up the videos like that for free. And then they did the same. But first it was like 10-minute video. And then they said, yeah, if you want to know more, then you can go to the website and pay, and then you get the full breakdown. What kind of piece of shit are you, man, if you do it like that? That's not the way of the Lord, man. That's not the way of Yahweh Shemir Shai. Buy the truth, sell it not, man. Freely receive, freely give. You see? Give me that. Which one? Knowledge puffed up.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1.
Yeah, this is linked with that.
Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffed up, but charity edified.
Yeah, knowledge puffed up, but charity edified. So when you get a little bit of knowledge, all of a sudden you think you top shot them, man. Yeah, the apostles, I know more than the elder apostles, like ITR, man. Israelites tried and denied.
Denied. You got denied.
They call themselves Israelites tried and refined, or Israel tried and refined, but they denied, man.
Yeah.
They say the missiles, no, they say the chariots, the so-called are not so-called UFOs, stuff like that. They talk about what else, man? Tribe of Dan. That's what it's all started off with, man. So they start to go against what the apostles say, because guess what? They get a little bit of knowledge. Where did they get the knowledge from? From the elders. Give me Hebrews 13:7. And while they were at it, they forgot who they learned this truth from, man. And that is not a good way to move, man. Okay, the pride, the fear was lost. Which you don't have to fear those men. You don't have to fear the elder apostles. You should just be in order and listen to them, man. But then again, they have kind of the position of a king. You're supposed to fear the king because he has the power to kill you. Okay, apostles don't have the power to. Well, they have the power to kill you if they would turn into, wicked men. But still, that's not. You should just be in order, man. But because you get a little bit of knowledge, now the pride kick it in, and you start doing your own thing, man. The same thing goes in the sight of the Most High. When you lose that fear, when you lose that structure, the obedience, you're gonna become proud. The Most High be like, get out of here with you, man. Get out of here. And takes away the knowledge that you thought what made you so great.
Yeah, that's that oil.
Takes away the oil, yeah.
That's a video that Elder Apostle Rakal made. That oil. The other camps, they also had a little bit of it, comfy and black-eyed bubblefish, or I don't know these bubble-eyed blackfish. All these men, they came under the same knowledge in New York, but that little oil that they had, they messed it up. They went to teach other things, and the oil dwelt with GMS from the start. And because they perverted the word with that little oil that they had, the Most High took away everything. That's that video that Elder Apostle Rakam made, I believe, yesterday or something.
Because to pervert means to change, man. Okay, perverse means to change.
It sounds like backwards, reverse.
And you ain't supposed to change this truth, man. Okay, applying in the sound doctrine, continue in the sound doctrine that you have once learned. Okay, so knowledge puffeth up.
This is
when that happens, the pride cometh in, and this is what pride will do unto you, man.
Also links with the Pharisees and Sadducees, the leaven of them. They got some understanding, but Yahushua, our Lord, he said, don't do like they do.
Yeah, man.
This is Proverbs 16, verse 18. Pride goes before destruction.
And that also shows you that as a man of the Lord, you are an example, man. Because brothers is gonna observe what you do also. They're gonna look at what you do and then do the same. Because they look at you, they be like, oh, he's like 10 years in the truth, right?
So we could do that.
As opposed to, I can check out what he does and just do the same. Because like Apostle Gabar said, when you come into this truth, you're like a parrot.
I was thinking about that, right?
You're like a parrot. You just repeat what the person says. So not only what he says, but also the behavior.
Yeah, and that's the monkey. That's the next level, and the third level is the toad. And the toad, he's stubborn, and that's when the pride can sift you out, because you get to a certain knowledge where you're like, okay, now I understand. Seemingly, everything goes good, but then this demon, I think it happens to all of us. This demon comes like, hey, no, that's not the breakdown. This. You understand it like this, so this is the way you need to go. But then that's that moment where you need to humble yourself and be like, nah, man, these men, they have been teaching it for 30 years. But, other people, they listen to that demon, and then they take off with pride,
Exactly. And eventually you become like an owl, right?
You get
like an owl because you can see in the dark.
Yes.
Also.
Wise, you got that oil. You got that oil on your, because that owl has some oil on his lens that he can see in the night, so he can see further, he's enlightened, and ultimately you become a serpent, which a serpent could be a good thing or a bad thing, but in this way where where Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Kabar explained it. When you're wise as a serpent, the scripture says, "Be wise, as,
wise
a serpent,
as a serpent.
you see, and harmless as a dove." So that means you're on an ultimate level.
Yeah, man. And serpents, they have, they can sense. Serpents sense. When the tongue comes out, they are sensing their environment, man. On top of that, Esau says that they have like heat vision. They can feel the heat, you know. So you become like a man that
The spiritual senses are heightened.
your spiritual senses are heightened,
Yeah.
like Hebrews 4:12 says, man. Okay, it says like, let's read it.
I also said the other Hebrews and have the scripture.
We, what does it say again?
The,
Whoa, I completely lost what that scripture says, man. It says,
yeah, read it. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
yeah, so through the spirit, you become a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So what the person intends to do, you know, his way of thinking when he pulls up to the camp, you start to recognize that, man. You start to see that. You start to have knowledge of what the purposes of people is, man. What the purpose of a person is when he pulls up here. You be like, oh, I see. I know this type of spirit that you come in. You know it. You start to discern. You start to see. Okay, and also when you grow in this truth, you start to know. Okay, they go off on this. They go off on that. You are able to go into certain books, history books, or certain books that claim to have knowledge. You be like, okay, this off. Bye. You throw it in the trash can. You see, or you pick out the bones and you use what is how you say that? You use what is profitable for the edification, man. Okay? But Esau hides the truth among lies. So when you read a couple of lies, you be like, oh, this is garbage. But then the truth is among the within it, man.
You know what they call it? What? They call it gatekeepers. They provide, you know, certain channels or certain groups. They provide certain information, which does contain the truth, but it also contains lies and mythologies and things that are incorrect, and it keeps you there. It keeps you interested, but it's not going to reveal the whole truth unto you. But those things can benefit you in a way that you're able to edify those that are in the truth, to warn them and to edify them.
And that's funny because that's a Satan-like spirit. Because when you worship Satan, the demon, he gives you only the information that he's allowed to give you. He gives you this, that, and the third. But if you was really like a soothsayer, or if you would really be like a witch or a sorcerer, the demon would tell you, like, listen, the earth is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. The Lord is a dark-skinned man. His name is Yahushai. He's going to take down this whole earth and put everyone in subjection under him. The world is going to come back to ways of peace. Order is going to be established again. If the demon would grant you that, then guess what? You would be another person, man. But the demon only gives you the things that he wants you to give. Compacted with lies, man. Or withholding the truth. Let me just put it like that. Withholding the truth, man.
Like the Hebrews 13.
But people that deal with demons, they do look at you and be like, hey, something up with him. Something up with him, man. People that deal with spirits often see aura. They see your aura, like they say in English, aura.
You know where I had that? It was at the windy occasion. You know, that's where they summon up spirits. And I was kind of stepping in the truth. I wasn't really in it yet, I believe. So I was there. And then I went to the bathroom. You know, they were summoning the demons up in there. I was in the bathroom washing my hands. Then somebody came, probably a spirit was on it. And he said, why aren't you outside doing this? Because I know you good at this. What the hell is he talking about? He's like, hey, he can sense that, you know, that you have an old spirit or something is up with you.
To persuade you to basically go on the left-hand side.
Maybe not even that, but, you know, not even to persuade, but he saw something, and he's like, hey, you need to be in there, or you know.
Yeah, man. Another brother that used to be in the truth, he went also to this soothsayer. He went to get, I believe he went to get like the calabash, which is like the wooden.
Wood, yeah, there's a bowl. Yeah, it's a fruit that when it's
Dried up.
then they carve it out, and then you can drink out of it.
Drink out of it, but they do
Rituals
rituals with
with
it. Exactly, they do rituals with it. So we went to get that and the Florida water, you know, where which you wash yourself and stuff like that. And then the man said like, if you can, how you say that, like soothsay his ass. And then he said that he found him very interesting and that he sensed that he had a right spirit upon him. Man. Well, at that time he was still walking in the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So, you know, the man sensed the spirit, but guess what? Like King Saul, he felt the spirit left him, man. So then, if he would go into the store now, the man would probably not sense it. You see, because the spirit of the Most High isn't there no more. So finish the pride scripture. He
This,
said it wasn't finished, so I'm like, okay, bring it back.
Proverbs 16, verse 18, and it reads, prolonging the time. This Proverbs 16, verse 18, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better is it to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud.
Yeah, man. And if you are of a certain rank, like in the camp or whatever, but then you come among, you know, brothers that even higher than you, you sit among the lowly, man. You sit among the lowly. You sit amongst, you know, the younger brothers, and let the higher brothers call you out to the what does it say, to the high chamber or something. Let them call you up, man. Always be humble, man.
It's also messed up, man. Because when you put yourself there, they're gonna be like, "What you doing here, man? Go sit there."
Go sit over there.
That's a shame, man. That makes you feel fucked up.
Yeah, it's not a shame. It's humility. You are being humiliated, but to be humiliated and being able to take it, that's great honor, man. Because that eventually that is gonna turn into your glory, man. You know, we are being humiliated daily, man. When we stand here, we are being humiliated by these people. They're laughing, shaking their hand, doing all kinds of things. Wait until that glory comes. Then you're not gonna shake your head. You're not even gonna look at us. Your face is gonna be towards the ground from shame, man. Like it says, Daniel chapter 12. But give me Matthew chapter 18. And you still have the First Timothy 2.
First Corinthians about the temple and all that.
Oh yeah, we also still need to read that. Yeah, read that first. As a matter of fact, so to close that topic, because earlier we spoke about to take care of your body, and we also had Sirach 28 on that.
Which one to go into concerning that chapter? Because I read about it. It goes a little bit into females as well.
Or was it then 29 maybe? Sirach 29. It's talking about when you lend some people don't want to lend because of the defrauding. You know, 29.
Yeah, 29 and 1.
I thought it was 28. Read.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy.
See that? So the temple is your body. If you defile your body, the Most High is gonna destroy you. If you destroy your body, the Most High will destroy you. You need to take care of yourself, man. Take care, do good unto yourself, and give the Lord His due offering. Okay, that also comes with keeping the dietary law. I was at my grandfather's house yesterday, and here it is. I'm setting up a whole diet for them, man. I'm making a whole diet, low carb diet, explaining it, going into details, grabbing products, say this, that, and the third. They was listening. You know why? And then I told my grandfather, like I said, Opa, which is a grandfather. y'all always telling me like, okay, why you bugging with the food? You don't want to eat pork. You don't want to eat this, that, and the third. And because before I spoke about that, he spoke about this auntie that got cancer throughout her whole body. I asked my grandfather, oh, how old is she? He said 70. I said, okay, check this out. You complain, not only, and then I said, not you, but the people of the family, they be complaining about why you so strict with what you eat and stuff like that. You can just eat anything you want. Don't trip about that. But when then this auntie turns 70, her whole body is full of cancer. Now, if she just checked out her diet throughout her life and didn't eat things like pork and freaking bottom feeders and stuff like that, her body would be more in a healthier state and she probably wouldn't have cancer right now. Of course, Esau's polluting. So I told my grandfather, like, hey, this is why you should live clean and healthy to the best of your ability, man.
Proverbs.
Because your body, Proverbs 4?
Yeah.
Because your body uh, 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 can't handle it for so long, man. For a certain period of time, your body is able to, take away the waste because that's what comes out. Okay, when you eat garbage, the garbage comes out. Okay, but when you become older, your immune system drops. You can't handle this shit no more, man.
One quick thing is the same thing with sugar, with diabetes. Because your body, you consume so much sugar, and to level it out, your body makes insulin. You have that in your own body, the organ that makes insulin. But if you're abusing so much sugar in everything that you drink sugar, and when you eat sugar chips, it tastes salty, but it's a lot of sugar in it. So that organ breaks down. It's like, fuck it, I can't take it anymore. So you can't make insulin anymore. So what happens? You get diabetes.
You have a question?
My uncle's a pastor and he always talks about
He speaks about the chip, this microchip in the hand. Yeah, that's good. Then he's actually done in the good direction because Revelation chapter 13 speaks about that they want to chip the whole world because everything in this world has a barcode.
the
Eh?
map of the beast.
The mark of the beast, exactly. Everything in this world has a barcode. Do you know that every barcode has 666 on it? Everything. If you have shoes and the barcode, you have something. Or I have something here. Look, those the first two stripes, it has no number under it. The middle and the end also not. But if you have a bottle wherein you see a 6 in the middle, then you can see the 6 is two small stripes. So here, when they scan it, it pops up 666. So this is a product also of their society, which if they put it in your body, then you carry the number of the beast, which is the number of a man, like the scripture says here.
What Christian are you?
We are not Christians. We are believers in the Bible. Okay, because Christianity goes against the Bible. You see? Christians say you can eat pork.
I'm a Christian.
You are a Christian?
Yeah, I'm born again Christian.
Okay. But the Bible doesn't speak about Christianity. The Bible speaks about nationality. Whether you know the people of Moses, right?
Yeah,
Those are Israelites. You from West Africa, right?
yeah.
Where what tribe you from?
How did you know?
Huh?
How did you guess? I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm
Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We know about the West African tribes: Ashanti, Ewe, Accra, Fanti. You see Yoruba, Congo, Igbo. We know about these tribes because
We were taken from
we
there.
were taken from those people. You see, we were once. Look, we are Caribbean people. Okay, South American people. We were brought into slavery, but we were once.
So like the coronavirus vaccine. My brother is a pastor. I was against it. Like people used to fight me. I said, I cannot take it. It's like the mark of the beast. Like reading the book of Revelation because I read the book of Revelation, which it shows about the end time, what will happen, the things that will happen. So I normally used to tell her she's my daughter. She forced me to take one of the vaccine. Because of her, I took it, and I told her I'm not going
To travel,
take
right?
it. Yes, because she wanted because of her friend. She wanted to go to McDonald's. They refused her.
To McDonald's.
Yes, with
You
her
shouldn't
friend.
eat McDonald's neither.
and they refused her. So she came to me like, "Oh, we have to take it." Because of her, I took it, but I didn't like it. I always fight people against the vaccine. I don't have faith in it. I don't believe
No,
in
you
it.
should not. Look, the people that put us in slavery are now telling you you can get this medicine for free. If they really want to help you, why don't they make your health insurance for free? Why don't why don't they make the hospitals for free? If they really want to take care of your health, why isn't that for free?
Cigarettes,
And
why
why
do they
is
sell
this injection for free? Now you want to help me, but first you put me in slavery, our ancestors in slavery. Now you claim to help me? No, 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 because the Bible says this, read.
This is 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
You should not be ignorant of the word devices. There is traps. He uses things to trap you. Don't be ignorant of that. Think like, okay, what is he putting in my body?
And do you believe in that verse that says, "By his stripes we are healed"?
Sorry?
By his stripes we are healed.
Yeah, that's the Lord. That's the Lord who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. That's Isaiah 53.
Yeah.
He took the stripes for our sins. So we committed a lot of sins over the years, all the generations, and he took the stripes of our wrongdoings. Like when a person steals, he gets the smack on the hand, right? He basically took all of that from us. You see?
And, you
And he
believe in
doesn't
that,
look like
do you
this.
believe in that verse?
What?
Do you believe in that verse?
In that verse. Do you
Yes,
believe
of
that?
course, yeah. Because he went on the cross and through him we have forgiveness of sins. And not him. First and foremost, the Bible says a man should not have long hair.
This is.
You have it? Yeah. So that is already one X. You can X it out because this man is always being portrayed as having long hair. But the Bible says a man is not supposed to have long hair.
This is
Like until here, like braids, you can have, but not like, because what does a man do that has long hair? He starts to act like a female, put his hair behind his hair. He does this when the hair is in front of his. He does this. What is that? If you start doing things like that, nature shows you that's not really good. You see, read.
This is 1 Corinthians 11, verse 14. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
So the Bible says it's a shame if a man has long hair. Man, if you walk behind a man with long hair, long, like real long, like a woman,
Yeah, I know.
and you be like, oh, that must be a fine woman. And then you see a man with a beard or whatever, you be like, whoa. It's not good if you come into situations like that. You even have this Dutch commercial, I think from L'Oreal, you know, the shampoo.
Oh yeah, with the
And it
horse
was
and shit.
it was a man with
the horse.
yeah, and then they thought that it was a woman, and then he turned around, it was a man. So the Lord, he did not have long hair. So that is already one thing that is wrong. One time he has brown eyes in the movies, then he has blue eyes, then he has this, that. It's not. No, the Bible explains it.
Yeah, because like what I believe, the image of Christ, I believe it was taken. It's when Mary Magdalene went to the to his was it the tomb, when he wiped the face of the Lord. When she wiped the face of the Lord, that's where his face. To my understanding, when I was small, going to Bible school, when he wiped the face of the Lord, that's where the image of his face stays. That's the only time they got how he looks like.
No, because John the Revelator, he saw him. Read it, John.
Yeah, he saw
Revelation.
him, but it was in his mind. He can only describe him. But his face was on the towel that Mary Magdalene used to wipe his face on.
And then also have
But he described how he looked. He says, I turned around. So he physically turned around and he said, I saw a man. He said,
And I saw, when I see,
yeah, I know that one. So read it.
no.
This is John. It's like this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, verse 12. This is Revelation chapter 1 verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
Yeah, so a voice was speaking with John the Revelator. So he turned around. He was like, who's this? Read.
And being turned, I saw seven golden candlesticks.
Yeah.
And in the midst of the seven
He
candlesticks,
saw this, the menorah.
yeah.
7 candlesticks. Read on.
And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
The Son of Man is the Son of God, which is whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, right? Go on.
clothed, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Okay, so now he describes how he that everyone calls Jesus looks like. If you want to know how him who everyone calls Jesus looks like, if you want to know he doesn't look like this, you should listen. Check this out. So, they,
IOIC or
no, GMS. Yeah. So they say he had a garment down to the foot, like what we are wearing. Read on. He's describing him.
it's also in West Africa. You know, it's
They have the,
Yeah, I know.
how do you call it again?
Dashiki is from.
But you said as they call him Jesus. How do you refer to him?
His name is not Jesus because the letter J only exists for 300 years. How can a man that lived 2,000 years be called Jesus? It's impossible. And in Dutch they say,
who was in the beginning with him. They said in Genesis 1, in the beginning there was a world, and the world was God, and he was with him. Who was he that was with
that
him?
is John chapter 1. But Genesis chapter 1 says, in the beginning God
Yeah.
created the
God, God created the world.
Yeah, the word God
in,
there,
in Genesis, who
And-
was with him?
the angels and Jesus and the angels created the world and the heaven and everything that exists. And God gave the word. He said, go and do this. And the angels and Jesus did it. Listen, I don't call him I say whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, because the world is not aware of what his true name is. He was a Hebrew Israelite. So a Hebrew Israelite has a Hebrew Israelite name and not Jesus. Jesus comes from the Greek, from the Latin, which is Jesus. Jesus, the Latin comes from the Greek, which is Eusis. That's Greek, but he was not a Grecian. He was an Israelite. So if we,
Yeah, in my tribe, like they say Yesu. Jesus. In my tribe, they say Yesu.
yes, okay,
The way-
but
the
it's
way
still
you just
wrong
said it.
because it refers to Jesus. So when you look up the word Jesus, it says in Hebrew Joshua. In Hebrew, it's Joshua.
in Hebrew.
So when you go into the Hebrew of Joshua, it says Yahweh Shai. So the true name of the Lord is Yahweh Shai. The same thing goes for Jehovah. The letter J only exists 300 years. How can the Ancient of Days, the Heavenly Father, be called Jehovah? He
And
told Moses,
Emmanuel, El Shaddai, Halloween.
yeah, those are titles.
Elohim.
Yeah, Elohim,
But they said that's all. That those are his name.
yeah, Alaya, Alaya.
Yeah.
Like Emmanuel, the God is with you, and all
Yeah.
those names.
That is all Hebrew. That is all Hebrew. So the Lord had a Hebrew name also. So, like you just explained, your tribe calls him you have to show the proof and scan the proof. They're gonna scan you with this. So
okay.
so it says that you shall receive a mark on your hand or in your head, and the word mark there in Greek says
At this time.
Proverbs 21 and 1. Yeah, Proverbs 21 and 1. Because will be alive because we are here. Now it's summertime, so everything is like, okay, the government wants to make money. Tourism, people come in. When the winter comes in again, when the winter time comes in again, they're gonna lock everything up
They're
again.
gonna lock us.
Verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
And so what these people in the government do is because all the things that are written in the Bible need to happen. So also the sicknesses that are spread, all that has to happen. Has to happen, otherwise the kingdom cannot come. So he steers the people are in control. He uses their brain, their mind.
Rivers of water. He turned it whithersoever he will.
Yeah, so he says like the river walk, a river crosses you and goes that way. You walk a few kilometers, the same river comes back because it's like this, right? So God, where's the C19 virus? And then it comes back. But the time is here. They're gonna come with this because they're gonna be like, yeah, this doesn't work. We need to register everyone. This is the registration. Yeah? Okay, bye. Good.
Messed up, man.
It is what it is.
Thought, which they are not allowed because in Holland there's a law that they cannot force you to do something like that for medical reasons.
Still the Hebrew.
Yeah. So we because it keeps tripping.
Ja, nu heb ik het uitgezocht.
So we spoke about the what? She wants to get some air on it.
Ja, wil ik.
She wants to feel the wind. Anyway, so we spoke about the body, that you should not destroy the body because you received it from the Most High. And then we spoke about, hey, if you don't have the fear for the Most High, you will do what the fuck you want, right? And when you get knowledge, you start to do whatever you want because you think you know it all. So then when you are not under obedience under those that have given you this truth, pride comes in and you start to do your own thing. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Give me Hebrews.
This is Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 7. Remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation.
Yeah, remember them that have the rule over you, man. Okay? Why do they rule over you? Because they watch for your souls. John 2 verse 12, I think.
This is jumping to verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you.
Yeah, man. So because of love, the elder apostles, we are in subjection under them. Why? They check us out. They watch for your souls, man. They are not just telling you, hey, you shouldn't be doing this for no reason. If you want to worship the Most High, if you want to, make it into the kingdom, you should not be doing this. They watch for your souls, man. You see that? That's why we gotta stay in check. We gotta stay in order, man. Okay? Don't be rebellious, because what happens to rebellious children? soon to the scriptures, they beat them, stoned to death, man. You know, so you shouldn't be rebellious like that. And the Most High says, the Most High doesn't have pleasure in that, man. When you come like that, even if you are being accused falsely, the Most High wants you to take it patiently. Okay, so now we go back to what I said earlier: helping each other out. That is the keeping of the law, treating a brother how you want to be treated. That's how you establish the law. But then there's a flip side. You always got to be aware of your surroundings. Watch out who you help, because why? Scripture says, every brother shall utterly supplant. You have scam artists out there right now, people of Israel that are messing things up, man. For this cause, some people have not learned. Okay, but we have to help each other at all cases, man. At all, obviously, at all causes. Okay, and sometimes, like I said earlier, helping someone sometimes is not just giving them what they need, but showing them in the process, giving them the tools, man. The tools is the most important. Fixing it for them is not the right thing. You should give them the tools how to fix it. Okay? If a brother has a hole in his hand, he keeps spending, in 2 weeks his whole salary is gone, then you tell him, like, listen, man, financially you gotta check out what you can miss monthly, man. That you put on the side. If you want to buy some clothes, you check out, you do a financial you make a sheet, or you make a what do you call that?
Inkomstenuitgaven.
Yeah, you make
Credit
like
and
a,
then expenses that you have to pay.
yeah, you write down all the monthly payments that you have to make. Then you calculate how much food you roughly spend a month, and then you check what's left. And if you see you have 200 euros to spend on clothes every month, if that's what you want, then you do that. But the moment something comes in between it that you gotta pay for, then you have to understand the 200 euros ain't there no more. It has to go to the thing that you abruptly had to pay, like a fine, or the washing machine breaks down, whatever, man. That's giving a brother the tools, and just giving him the money that he spent himself, and now he needs your money to help himself out with. That is not giving him the tools. That's fixing it for him. You see? So that's brotherly love, man. Helping each other.
It's like with the laying of the floor, remember? It's a perfect example, because the camp leader, what was it? He taught you how to do it, because you needed a new floor. You had all the tools, you had everything, but you didn't know how. So you're like, hey, Elder Naka, can you help me?
I didn't ask him to do it for me.
Exactly.
I asked him to help me with it, explain me how to do it. Then he came one day. He didn't come after that. Then I did the whole house myself.
Same thing with me. You came to me. He said, like, hey, you can ask him because I taught him. Okay, now you come to me. You did the difficult parts. You're like, hey, this is kind of messed up. Let me start with this.
Let's start here, yeah.
And then the rest, if he gets this, then he can do the rest. Okay, so now I know how to do it. So then I go back to the other brother. Then he's like, hey, I heard you can do it. So I didn't do it for him. I showed him how. And then also, I did it. I helped him also. Did the first 2-3 rows, and I'm like, okay, you get it now. You do this. So that's helping the brother and giving him tools. It's not doing it for him.
Exactly. You help each other out like that.
Sirach 39?
Yeah. 29.
29. This is Sirach chapter 29 in verse 1. He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandment.
Yeah, man. He that helps out a brother, which is strengthening a brother's hand, keepeth the commandment. You're not self-centered. You're not like you don't have the image of these rappers nowadays, because rappers are all about themselves, man. I got this, I got that, I got that. What the fuck you got, man? It's not important, man. It's about importance is how you help each other out, man. How you build each other up. But you say only about yourself, man. How you got this, that, and the third. When they asked Floyd Mayweather, how does he help his so-called black people? He said he ain't helping them. Nobody help him. That's his mentality. That's a proud ass motherfucker, man. He can fight. I like him for his fighting, but I don't like his persona, man. The same thing goes for rappers, man. If you can rap, I like your music, but I don't like you. You be shit to me, man. Because brothers often come to me. You listening to his music? Do you know that he sold his soul? Yes, so what? His music is still good. I don't give a shit what he did. He gon' perish, man. If he does not repent, he gon' perish. I don't care what he did. His music is good, and I like to listen to his music. So hey, that's good enough for me, man. Don't care really about his mentality, man. It's always off. Then I can't listen to no music. Even if I listen to Yuri Buenaventura, or if I listen to Grupo Nietzsche, which is salsa music, they also off. They also pray to Jesus. Sure not, then I shouldn't listen to them neither, man. They go to church and pray down to white Jesus, man. Nah, man. His music is his music. I listen to it, you know. But I will tell you this, man. If you listen to this new age rap, man, they use frequencies, man. They use frequencies, and you become a nutcase, man.
There was this guy that was singing about killing myself. I want to kill myself, and then only in the end of the song he says it was a joke or something. You must.
Yeah, he said I don't want to die no more. Yeah, in the end.
Yeah.
First he said I want to die.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
the whole song. Yeah.
Fucking suicidal thoughts you get from that shit, man. But there was a guy in the camp also. He was listening to all this drill rap, AK-47 type music. What did he end up doing? He came with the gun to the camp, man. His ass had to be sifted real quick, man. His ass had to be sifted because that we don't condone that stuff, man. You see? He ain't supposed to come to the camp with guns, man. It's not the word of the Most High like a two-edged sword. Why? What you need a gun for?
You hear that? ISUPK?
What you need a gun? No, that was ISUPK. I don't know.
was Sakari.
It was
Sakari.
Sakari.
Oh, yeah, something like that, yeah.
But I think ISUPK does it too. They go to the shooting range and stuff like that. But I cannot say if they do it because I don't know for sure. But yeah. A lot of problems today outside, man. A lot of problems. A lot enough. Okay, I'm thinking what I was, you go.
This is Sirach 29, verse 2. Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay to thy neighbor again in due season.
Lend to thy neighbor when he needs it. Read it again.
Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season.
Yes, so when your neighbor needs something, you lend it unto him. When your neighbor lends something to you, you make sure that you pay him back in due season, man. Don't stretch it. Don't act like you paid it already. Don't be like that, man. Here it is. You lend something to a guy. You be buying mad food and all the things, new shoes, pull up with new shoes, and then you ask him, hey, you got that money? No, man. You're supposed to pay him back first before you buy those new shoes, man. Go on. I learned this when I was a young kid already, man. That Jake acts like this. Buying everything he can.
Someone else's money.
I lent him money. A week later, I have to check out for my way of spending things because, you know, I helped him out. So I have to check myself a little bit. And then I see him buying burger here, fries there. Oh, dope shoes. I think I'm going to get them. You be like, strange. I learned that already when I was very young, man.
Can I jump to verse 20?
No, just keep reading.
Verse 3, it says, keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee.
Yeah, man. If you always help out a brother in his need, you will always have a man that comes to help you when you need it, man. You see? Go on. For example, the brother, when I have an injury, or when I feel sick, or when I have something, the brother always provides me with herbs, man. Here it is. I make beard oil. Do you think I'm gonna charge him for that bed oil, man? Of course not, man. Here, you can have it because why? He always gives me whatever I need, just like that, man. I don't have to ask for it. He says, "Hey, take this, use it." He calls me, "You using it?" I'm like, "Ah, God." He said, "Yeah, I understand, but make sure you use it." I said, "Yeah, I use it."
Talking about me, right? Boring guy. I said,
No. I ain't talking about you at all, man. So now the brother needs it. I fix him up, man. It would be a disgrace if I would ask him for money for that, man. Same thing goes for other brothers, man. Not you.
I'm trying
Other
to fix a discount. Yeah.
Ah.
Discount.
All the brothers have discount, man. When I get them products, man. Shit.
You my moringa, man.
Always, man. The discount's so big it don't even make no sense for me to make it. Go on. Be like, I'm looking at it like I lose money off this shit, man. But it doesn't matter, as long as I can help others out. But I think I'm done with it.
Verse 4, many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found, and put them to trouble and help them.
Yeah, man. Many people, when you help them out, you give them 100 euros, they give you back like 40, and then they tell you like, yeah, I'm gonna pay the rest later, and then they forget it, or they act like, yeah, I paid you. You be like, hey, when? When did you do that, then? Yeah, I did do it. They reckon it to be found like it's already fixed, it's already done, it's already paid. No, it's not. Go on.
So he had received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively.
Yeah, man. To get the money, he's all humble and quiet. Help him out. Oh, whenever you need my help, I'm there for you. But can you give me this and that and the third? It's like on a smaller scale, right? You have some crisps or something. You have some chips. Brothers come talk, have a conversation with you. Yeah, man. How you been, man? How you doing, man? Hey, man. I was just thinking about, you good, man? Hey, can I have some? The only reason he comes is for the chips. The only reason why he walks up to you is for the chips, man. You see? But then he acts submissively and humble, and he cares about what your life is all about. But he wants to have some chips. But it often happens as a joke. But that's the way of Jake, man. Go on.
Says, but when he should repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, come on, man. I don't earn that much money, man. Why you stressing me about that money, man? You know how of a tough time I have, man. You know the bills I have to pay, man. Why you asking me about it again, man? You keep me asking this, man. Whoa. We agreed on you paying me back end of the month. It's end of the month. Why you tripping?
I think it's Friday, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
Huh? It's Friday as well. When you come to collect the money,
Worm?
you try to avoid him because he's constantly coming to collect the money. Friday.
If you're talking about Big Worm,
I don't remember names, man.
Big Worm is the supplier. Smokey's supposed to sell his dope and give him the money that he gets off of his dope. But Smokey was smoking the dope.
So you couldn't pay him.
Smokey, not the dope. Smokey was smoking the weed. Yeah. So he didn't have no money. He said, yeah, nobody buying and shit. Niggas is broke these days. That's what he said. Niggas is broke these days. He was smoking it. So Worm was like, okay, I give him the weed, but people ain't buying it. Okay, so he can't give me money. That's why he said, smoking my shit? You smoking my shit? Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. I won't do that. Worm. I won't do that. Yeah. Brother be knowing this movie from the top of the dome, man. Go on.
Verse 6, if he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count as if he had found it. If not, he had deprived him of his money and hath gotten him an enemy without cause.
Yeah, man, you create enemies like this, man. If a brother helps you out, you pay him back his money. If you act like it's already paid and it's done, you create enemies, man. Because you make a promise, you're going to pay him back, you pay him back, man. Go on.
He paid him with cursing and railings, and for honor he will pay him disgrace.
Yeah, man.
Many therefore have refused to lend for other man's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded.
Yeah, man. So this is the reason that people don't like to lend or borrow money, man, because they know how it goes, man. You never see that money again, man. But then there's a flip side to it. If that's what you do with brothers in this truth, they can't pay you back or they act like this type of way. Go on.
It says, Yet have thou patience with the man in a poor estate.
Yeah, man. It's another side of it. You got to be patient. You got to deal patiently with a man that doesn't have it, man. Okay? Go on.
And delay not to show mercy. Help the poor for the commandment's sake.
Help the poor for the commandment's sake.
And turn not him away because of his poverty. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under the stone to be lost. Which goes into if you have money to spend and a brother is in need of help, just provide him with the money, because otherwise you ain't gonna use it yourself.
Exactly, like it says in the book of James, man. If a man is cold and you have a jacket right there, you're supposed to give him the jacket, man. You're supposed to help him out. Hey, man. You're supposed to help him out. Go on. If you have a question, you can just ask the question. No problem.
Verse 11. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
Yeah, lay up. Read it again.
Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
It shall bring you more profit than gold, man. Go on.
Shut up alms. Shut up alms in thy storehouse, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and a strong spear.
See that? So giving alms is gonna be a defense, man, because if you make friends by helping them out, they're gonna help you out in the time of need, man. They're there for you, man. That's why you have this movie, is it Desperado? No, it's not Desperado, right? Where they have the guitars. With what is this guy's name?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Zorro? No, man. Desperado.
He has a guitar, but under the guitar he has guns. So he walks through the city with his guitar box.
Incognito, right?
Yeah, he's incognito. Anyway, he walks around with his guitar box and they think he's just a musician. But he's a killer. Yeah, musician. But he's a killer, man. You see? So then when it's time to kill, he pulls open his guitar box and he takes out his guns. But then there was a hit on him. And the two best friends of his that he always helped throughout his life, he contacts them and they are right there. And they laid down his life for him, man. He's the only one that came out of it alive. But his two friends died. You see?
There's nothing greater than a man that lays down his life for his friends.
So nothing greater than to help out brothers when they are in a time of need. So when you are in a time of distress and need, in this case of the movie, they was out for his life. He has two men that will defend him until death, man. You see? Go on. Yeah.
This is Sirach 40, verse 23. Brethren, and help. Verse 23. This is Sirach 40 and 23. A friend and companion never meet amiss, but above both is a wife with her husband. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both.
Yeah, man. So what does it say? Brethren and what?
Brethren and help are
Brethren
against.
and help are against the time of trouble because they are there to help you out. But alms
shall deliver more than them both.
But alms shall deliver more than them both, because giving alms is a spiritual thing, which gives you the defense of the Most High. And the Most High can defend you more than a friend or a help, man. The Most High, with the spirit of the Most High is behind it because you did good things in your life. The Most High is going to help you out, man. In a lot of cases, man.
Yeah, 100%. This is Sirach 12, verse 2. Do good to a godly man and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
Yeah, man. So if you help a godly man, if he doesn't recompense you for the help that you did, the Most High will recompense you. So that comes also down to, lending onto a brother. If he's not able to pay, hey, tell him, okay, it's cool, man. You put down money for a brother, he can't pay you back. You lay up treasures in heaven, man. That money rests with the Most High now in heaven. In the kingdom, you're gonna get your benefits off of it, man. You're gonna reap the benefits. Go on. Yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 29, in verse 14. An honest man is surety for his neighbor, but he that is impudent will forsake him. Forget not the friendship of thy surety, for he hath given his life for thee. A sinner will overthrow the good estate of his surety, and he that is of an unthankful mind will leave him in danger who delivered him.
Yeah, that was it. Calm. So, this is the flip side of it, man. You gotta be aware of who you help. And you gotta understand that if you help someone, this is gonna be some things that come in between. Actually, you didn't read one verse that said, make sure that you don't fall into the same.
It's the one that has
Jump towards that. But I wanted you to read all of that, and then I know something comes in between, and then you gotta jump over that.
This is Sirach 29, verse 20. Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same.
You see that? So if you help someone, make sure that you don't need help after helping him, man. Let's say your rent is 500 euros, and a friend asks you to pay his rent, to help pay his rent. He asks you for 300 euros. You have 600 euros. If you give him 300 euros, guess what? You're 200 euros short, man, for your own rent. So you shouldn't fall into the sin, man. He needs help, now you need help. That's just passing the problem, man. The problem goes from him to you. Now you need help. You go ask someone, yeah, he needs help. If he does it the same way. So if you can help him, help him. If you cannot, then you gotta say, Salaki, I can't help you. You gotta ask someone else, man. You see? So that was it, right?
You know what's funny? This one time when we went over Sirach 29, we read this verse. I came in a situation in which a brother asked me for help, but I had to say, Salaki, I cannot help him because of my own situation. That's kind of messed up, man, because it was not within my power to actually help the brother. It's funny that the Most High gives you wisdom, and then later on, He tries you with that same wisdom. Are you going to make the same mistake that you made earlier? Or are you going to apply the scriptures and learn from that, man, and walk in a way that keeps you safe? It's funny.
That's why the scriptures give you commandments, but also wisdom. And you're supposed to live by that wisdom, just like how you live by the commandments. Okay? Applying the wisdom is good. It's good for you, man. Okay? You learn how to deal with certain situations, handle certain businesses, things that are going on, trusting people. It's good, man. It's not a commandment, but it's good. Go on. Oh, that was it, right? Go back to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse.
Okay, this is 1 Timothy 2. Start from the top again. Verse 3. Let me start at 2. 1 Timothy 2, verse 2.
No.
Here, and then we went
Go to 5.
This is verse 4. 1 Timothy 2, verse 5. 4. Verse 4. I'm looking at 4, but I said 5. Who will have all men to be saved and to come unto knowledge of the truth?
Yeah, the Most High wants the man to be saved and to come to the knowledge of the truth. The Most High wants that, desires that. He wants you to wake up and wake up out of sleep, man. Go on. Even though it's not meant for everyone.
Good. Verse 5. For there is one power and one mediator between the Most High and men, the man, Hamashiach, Yahushai, who gave himself a ransom to all to be testified in due time.
Yeah, so if we look at Yahushai, the author of our faith, which, can you grab that scripture? Yahushai is the author of our faith. Now, if you think about the word author, right? You think about someone that um, um, registers the movie or whatever. He orders everything right. But really, if you go into that word author, it says the chief, the first. Okay, he's the one that laid down the foundation. Like this is how you walk faithfully towards the Most High. So he's the first, the chief, the leader. Now follow after him in his ways, and that will establish your faith, man. Okay, and that is in many cases, it goes like that, man. That's why Apostle Paul also said, be followers of me, just like how I follow Yahushua. If a man does the right thing in the sight of the Most High, you are able to follow him because he leads you towards the Lord. You see? Go on. You have it? Yeah.
This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross.
You see? So he's the author and finisher of our faith. He's the first one to do it, the chief, the leader. He showed us this is the way, this is how you move, this is how you operate inside of the Most High. And he finished it. And he's going to come to finish it also. Go on.
Despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand, the throne of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua.
No. He's set down on the right hand of Yahweh. Because he is Yahushua. The scripture is about that. So he set down. So after he done all these things, he gave us the example. He showed us how to do it. That's why he's the chief. He shows us this is how it's done. After all of that, he sat down on the right hand of the Most High Yahweh. Okay? So now we look at the Lord Yahushua and we be like, okay, so this is how we're supposed to move. This is how we're supposed to operate. Okay, let me keep myself in check. Let me do what's right inside of the Most High. Okay? I had a point with that, which is the point that's right here in the Timothy that you just read.
This is 1 Timothy 2, verse 5.
Yeah.
For there is one power and one mediator between the Most High and men, the man Yahushua.
So Yahushua is the mediator between us and the Most High. We cannot come to the Most High without the Lord Yahushua. Go on.
Who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time.
He gave himself a ransom, man. So he showed us this is how you're supposed to be, man. Okay? Help your brothers. He gave himself as a ransom. Okay? What did it say? Who gave himself a ransom?
Who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time.
Go on.
Verse 7. Whereunto I am ordained a preacher and an apostle. I speak the truth in Yahushua and lie not, a teacher of the Gentiles in faith and verity. I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Yeah, man. So you should, that was it. So you should, be in the mentality to do good unto each other, to use Yahushua as an example for yourself, how to also walk orderly in the sight of the Most High, and keep putting up them prayers, man. Pray everywhere doesn't mean like you go into the marketplace, you start raising up your hand, no. Go on your knees in the sight of man, no. When you are walking in the street, when you're walking in the marketplace, you can just walk and you meditate, man. You meditate, you put up your prayers to Yahweh Shah. Keep it a secret. Okay, but you know what always happens? When you pray in your head, all of a sudden someone start talking to you. When I lay in bed with my woman, and I'm like, oh, I still have to pray. I start to pray in my head, then she starts talking. Yeah, finish my prayer. She be like, hello, you sleeping? What? Hey, you sleeping? I'm finishing my prayer, but
You can't say anything.
no, man, you don't want to cut off your prayer just because, your demon is stopping.
Also that, but you also make her know that he was praying. That makes not a secret anymore.
Yeah, but then again, if you become two become one flesh, right? The same thing with fasting. You're gonna hide it from your wife when you fasting in the house. How you gonna do that? You won't be like, you want some food? You be like, oh no, I'm not that hungry. Lie. That's a lie. You're hungry. Yeah. She comes into the living room with some water. You look at the water. She put ice cubes in it. You be like, hey, and then you leave it. She be like, the ice cubes melt. The cup runs over. She be like, what the hell you doing, man? Drink your drink, man. Yeah,
Right
no,
about it.
I'm not that thirsty. You grab your cup, you throw it in the in the sink. No, man. Tell her, hey, I will go on a fast. And me personally, if I go on a fast, man, I don't want my woman to be near me, man. I want to be alone. You know, you just want to be alone, and you just want things to be between you and the Most High. Yeah, but that's my preference, man. Right? That's my preference. That's how I would like it, and how I do it.
You didn't record the day, right?
You know? Huh?
You didn't record the day.
Yeah, everyone does it in his own way. You know how he prefers it. Some men like Wednesdays, some men like Sundays. I like Saturdays. Yeah, you like Sundays because you can sleep the whole fucking day. I know that. I like Fridays actually also.
True with the
And
brothers.
I like that woman, man. You know why? She had a lot of patience there. She stood there long, man, waiting for a friend, man. The one in the green, yeah. She had a lot of patience. Her friend made her wait like, I think 45 minutes, man.
A lot of meats.
Enough meats. So I'll take that off of
Our hands.
y'all hands. A woman that is patient is precious, man. Patient woman. Because with patience comes humility and humbleness and meekness. Okay? But she was suffering, man. That's why she chose to stand in the shade.
Patience goes into suffering.
Because patience goes into suffering. No, patience goes into suffering because if you decide to wait on your friend, you're gonna have to suffer through the time that she will take, and let you stand over there, man. That's what it is. Okay, so that Second Timothy was finished. Give me Ephesians chapter 3, verse 10.
It's Ephesians 3, verse 10. To the intent, 9. It's Ephesians 3, verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship.
8.
This is Ephesians 3 and 8. Unto me, who am less than the least of the saints, is this grace given, that I should preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Yahushua.
Okay, so Apostle Paul is referring to himself as the least, but a great ministry was given unto the apostle, man. Okay, but he's out there preaching and giving this truth unto those that hear it, man. Go on.
Verse 8. Verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world had been hid in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Like I always say, man, this truth was unknown, man. This truth was unknown. The truth became known. The purpose of the Most High became known when Yahushua came on the scene. That's why they said, how is this man speaking with such authority, having never learned, man? They looked at Yahushua like, how does he know all these things? How does he speak like this with great boldness? He was amazed at his teaching, man. He was like, how is this even possible? Because it was the Spirit of the Most High that spoke through him, man. And he came to do the will of his Father, which to bring the purpose of the whole living and the whole way of life. He came to bring it, that understanding unto his people. Because they did not know. They did not know. Nobody knew. Revelation 5 and 5.
They brought a light. Word darkness, notice you great light.
It's in Thessalonians, right? First Thessalonians Thessalonians chapter 4. But the Revelation,
I think it's Luke, but he wasn't that light, but he came to be witness of that light. Maybe John. You got to praise upon the power that you're talking about with Yahushua. Yeah. This is Luke 4, verse 14, and I'm going to jump to verse 32. Luke 4 and 14. And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. So this was the encounter when he was in the wilderness, when he was fighting Satan head to head. And then when he was done with fasting and battling him, then the how you call it, the angels came and ministered unto him. So he was refreshed. He was back in the power and the strength. Jumping to verse 32. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power.
His word, yeah, man, his word was of the Most High. He came in the spirit of the Most High, man, preaching everything. That's why the Pharisees and the scribes and the learned men, so-called learned men of Israel, they looked at him like, how does this man know all these things, man? How does this man know all these things? Like, who is he? Do we not know his father? Do we not know his mother and his sisters?
Is he not the carpenter's son?
Is he not the carpenter's son? Who is he? You see? The same thing with us, man. Like last Saturday, we was teaching in Frankfurt in Germany. Freaking theologist. A theologist walks up to us and he looks at us like a bunch of Negroes. Sisters. He walks to us like a bunch of, he looks at us like a bunch of Negroes, but then we cut him off left and right with the scriptural understanding, man. So the same thing, man. They looked at Yahushua like, who are you? But then he had this great understanding. Then he was a great teacher. He was teaching in the Sabbath. He was teaching on the Sabbath in the temple. Okay, in the synagogue. Okay? Because why? Give me Matthew 11, and I think it's 25.
It's Matthew 11.
Hey, but I was amazed that this woman said the pastor teaches about the MOTB. That it's the R to the F to the I to the D.
But he also brought it out as
Yeah. But with us, that was also for a certain period, because you gotta be aware of Satan's devices, man. You can kind of flip the script a little bit, skip the, device like this and make it more modern and use whatever. You gotta be aware, man, of his ways.
That's the elder from New York. Yes,
I don't know.
yeah, but
It's what popped in my mind, and then I thought you probably mean him.
yeah.
How do you know? You be like, how do you know this?
Be of one mind.
I could have said so many elders.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But that's him. I'm on the bar. He made a video. He'd be like,
Spiritual powers.
oh my God, low level right now. It's gonna be
Yesterday also, I left. Woman was a bit sick. I left the bedroom. I went to the kitchen and I grabbed this specific bottle of drink that she had. I grabbed it and I came in the this bedroom and I gave it to her. And she was like, "Huh? When you walked away, I was thinking about that. I want that drink, and then you came in and you gave me the drink." Oftentimes it happens like that, but I have this often.
But yeah, go on. Yeah, so the elder Amo on the bar, he made a video. Treat the jab thing as the mark MARC. I'm gonna call it like that, not a K, but a C.
Why?
That's Mark. That's a man. But
Marcus and
yeah, Marcus, for example. So you gotta treat the jab as Marcus.
The Marcus of the Beastos. Yeah, man.
And they took that video down. I found that video very spiritual. I'm like, okay, whoop, I'm download it, put it on my channel, whoop, flag. But that's the spirit you gotta be in. That's what the elder apostles also said. We're not taking that, and you need to treat that as that. But it is not that. But you gotta not take any of these trickery things that Esau comes with.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, but I was, yeah, that point was actually.
I got another precept on professing with power, and
Yeah.
this is 1 Thessalonians 1, verse 5. For our gospel came not unto you in word only, but also in power, and in the Holy Spirit, and in much assurance, as ye know what manner of men we were among you for your sake. God,
Yeah, break it down.
God, so this is Apostle Paul, when he came back to the Thessalonians, he said, this word wasn't only given to you in word, like, the breakdown. No, man. Also in power, in boldness, and the power that Yahushai preached also. That's how we preach. Because we know this is a sure word. We don't think if or maybe no. You show your faith through your works, right? And when we preach this, we preach it with all power and all boldness. You see?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it. Let me go to got a precept on.
Don't forget the Ephesians.
Yeah, I got it. It's the Revelations. In the
Yeah, give me
Ephesians,
the Revelations.
This is Revelations chapter 5 and verse 1.
The scripture said the truth was not known. So when you hear that, you be like, huh? In the ancient times, they knew the Heavenly Father. Yeah, they knew the Heavenly Father, but they did not know His purpose. They did not know. They knew about the kingdom is going to come, but they did not know how it was going to be established, man. Galatians 3 and 21. Go on.
Revelation 5 and 1. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof.
Who's worthy to open the book and loose the 7 seals thereof? Who is able to get this understanding of the scriptures and bring it out? Go on.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Because even in the book of Daniel, it's being mentioned that the words of the book would be sealed until a certain time, which means that the understanding would not be brought out, until later. Verse 3. And no man in heaven,
And like the apostles always say, we have more understanding of the scriptures than the apostles back then. Why is that? Because the kingdoms that was being written about already passed. We can see them. We can link. We can link everything together. Even though Daniel, he broke down the dream. He said the he-goat is the Greek Empire, the ram is the Medo-Persian Empire. He broke it down, yeah. But like certain characteristics of these empires and the 4 notable horns that came up instead are generals. We know what generals they are. We know who they are. He didn't know that. You see, so, and things about this kingdom that Revelation speaks about, John the Revelator saw, he was like, whoa, he was amazed what he saw, but he couldn't really place it. We can place it because we are living in this society. We are living in this place, man. We can put all the pieces of the puzzle together. You see? Because why do you think we have science out? Why do you think we have the science out here? You learn by visualizing it. And how much more can you visualize something other than when you have the picture in front of you, man? You see? Then you know exactly how to visualize it because you see it. This is what I mean. I put up the sign. This is what I mean. If I don't put up the sign, you're gonna paint your own picture in your head. Okay? But it's not gonna be 100% accurate what I mean unless I explain it in full detail. And that's why the scripture says be apt to teach. Because with explaining something with skill and full detail, a man is gonna understand what you mean.
Even the scripture where it says they will not do unto themselves, but unto us.
That's a good one. 1 Peter 1 and 12.
This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 12. Unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you, by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into.
Yeah, man. So they knew it was not for that time, man. They knew a lot of prophecies were not going to come to pass at that time. Even the apostles, starting with the apostle James, that died first, man. Thrust through by the sword. Okay, they knew, okay, the kingdom is not going to be established now. Okay, they did want it, they did desire it. Give me Acts 1 and 5. They did desire it. Give me 2 Peter 3 and 12. They did desire it though, and you have these bug outs that complain about how the 2000 year prophecy was off, and that shows you they don't know. No, man, this is the earnest desire for the kingdom, looking for new heavens and a new earth. This is the desire of getting the fuck up out of this world, man. Not want to be in this world no more, man. That's their desire. That's wanting to get the fuck up out of here, man. That's what you see. Okay? And closely watching the time.
Or you got other camps be saying like it's June. There's no. But you already heard the news that happened in Jamaica. That what was it, CDBC?
Yeah, the Central Digitalized Bankers.
Yeah, they're digitalizing. They're one of the first to give that accord. So this is where this society is moving towards.
Exactly. Fourth Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, man.
So
Because this dollar is not to be held up no more, man. They can't keep it up no more, man. The value is dropping by the day, man. And not only the dollar, also the euro, man. Because the value of the euro and the dollar is almost equal now, man. The dollar was always more valuable. The euro was always more valuable. Now it's almost the same, man. But guess what? The prices are not changing with it. So your salary is not changing with it. This is the work of the devil, man. Here it is. Your 10 euro is not really worth 10 euro no more. But you still get only 10 euro.
Where do you see it? When you pump gas. You're like, hey, wait, what? It's plus 20 euros. You used to put 60 euros in your tank. Now it's 80. 85. I'm like, huh?
Yo. I remember when the gas skyrocketed, I put in 40 liters, and it was like 110 euro. And then the dude behind the register, he said like, only 40 euros? Or no, only 40 liters?
He was shocked.
And he was shocked, and he works there. Only 40 liters, and you pay 120 euros. Shit, man. I said, luckily, I don't have to pay for it. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. But still, yeah, call Allah, y'all, but Shemil Shai for that, man. Yeah, man, I'm happy for that. But guess what? If that doesn't touch you, other things will.
Oh,
you can't escape the subject.
Bag with holes.
The bag with holes being subject unto payments, man. You can't escape that. It's like putting your money in a bag with holes, man. It comes in and it goes out on the other side, man. You see?
Can you say something?
Yeah.
Something that I noticed personally when I went to the store, they changed the package size as well. Size became smaller. I bought chicken. Normally it's 1 kilo for €7.50, and now it's 800 grams for the same price. Yeah, man.
Oh, I remember it was 1 kilo always. I still saw it. I think I saw it yesterday. 1 kilo still.
Albert Heijn.
Yeah, Albert Heijn.
Albert Heijn. Oh, man.
Oh no, the jumbo has the 1 kilo. Albert Heijn doesn't have that.
They changed it, man. It used to be 1 kilo.
In Albert Heijn?
Yeah, man.
Same thing. I was looking for beef. 200 grams, like 5, 6, 7 euros. I'm like, only for 200 grams, but that's in the store. If you go to a slaughterhouse, then it's cheaper.
You think it's cheaper,
Yeah.
but it's not cheaper no more, man. If you go to those Turkish butchers, it's not really cheaper, man. It's still coming up on you with the trickery.
They're gonna mix things, man.
They mix things. Well, some just make a lot of money, and they be like, they just give you the meat, and they keep giving you the quality so that you come to them. But there's Turkish people that they be like, hey, the money is short. Then they're gonna defraud you. That's the mentality of these Chinese people also, man. They defraud you because they need the money. They want to save more. And that's why the scripture also speaks about a merchant shall hardly do
Huckster.
a huckster. which is also a merchant, shall hardly do good, man, because he has the power to defraud you. Okay, and in China, what they do is they mix sand grains with black pepper. They mix black sand grains with not grains, sand corals. Yeah. Anyway, they mix sand. They mix sand with black pepper.
How? Are you not gonna?
Also something with carton box. There's many things that it says. There was this video: 10 things you should not eat in China, because that's how they defrauded. They change pork. They go with the pork, go through this beef marinade, and then they give you pork instead of beef. But it tastes like beef because of the marinade, and it looks like a tooth.
They also make fake eggs in China.
Fake eggs, also, yeah. With this, also lettuce, fake lettuce. It's like some kind of paint, and when they put it in boiled water, it forms into lettuce.
I saw other one. I saw fish like this, like salmon. Kind of look like salmon, but it's a fish. And then when you hold it like this, it's nothing wrong with it. You can squeeze it like a sponge.
Then it's like rubber.
Yeah, but then when you put it in water, then it inflates again, and it looks like a fish with scales and everything.
Yeah, this world is gone, man. This place is gone, man.
Mixed rice with plastic.
So go back to Ephesians, then you can take it over. Oh yeah, get the Galatians. Give me the Galatians.
Yeah.
With the Galatians. Yeah, the Revelation. No. Finish it.
This is precept on that.
This is Revelation chapter 5
The mystery stuff about mystery.
in verse 4. And I wept much because no man was found worthy to open the book and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah.
The Lion of the tribe of Judah, which is not Selassie, no, it's Yahushai. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, go on, because Selassie is not of the tribe of Judah. Okay. And he's not even an Israelite. They believe that on his mother's side or something, but that's on his mother's side, if that's even the truth. Go on.
The root of David hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Yeah, man. So Yahushai came on this earth, and he gave the understanding. He loosed the 7 seals, which is the hidden wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the purpose of the Most High. Okay, and he loosed it, man. So that's why when he came, he gave us the understanding. He showed us like, hey, this is how the cookie crumbles, man. Okay, this is the purpose of the Most High. I came to bring it unto you. That's why when Philip asked, show us the Father, Yahushua was like, why? I'm here. I give you all the answers the Lord would the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, would give you.
No. And funny thing that you said, this is how the cookie crumbles, because one of the precepts that, I was like, what does that mean? Yahushua said he's going to come bring fire because it's already kindled. And
What
that's
if
what
it's already kindled?
Yeah. So Yahushua, he's the one that kindled it in the beginning. He started that fire. He started to destroy and destructure Esau's kingdom. So now it's already it's raining like a wildfire, and when he comes, he's gonna bring more fire upon that fire. More fire. So it's Yahushua who did that. It's Yahushua who started to let Esau's kingdom fall with it too.
Yeah, man.
This is 1 Corinthians 2, verse 6. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. And when it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, they are perfect in what? Perfect in understanding. They understand these scriptures when you talk to them. Other people, when you tell them, they're like one in and the other ear out. They don't grasp it. They don't want to know.
Because nobody of us is perfect, man. But we strive to be. Yahushua said, be perfect like my Father is in heaven. When he said that, he knew that you were not going to be able to reach it, the perfection of the Heavenly Father. But he wants you to strive towards it, man. He wants you to desire to reach that way of perfection so that you become an acceptable man in his sight. Striving to be perfect.
Verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in the mystery, even the hidden wisdom which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. And that's the point. It's a mystery to the people. You know.
That's why when it says Gentiles, they don't even understand. They be like, it says Gentiles, it says the whole world. No, you just don't get it, man. It has been always for the Israelites. It has always been and will always be just for the Hebrew Israelites. And if there is a man that does not look like a Hebrew Israelite, but understands this truth, that means he is a Hebrew Israelite. It's not that difficult, man. And over the years, a lot of people are not looking like Israelites no more, man. So then if you have the feeling like, yeah, they're racist or whatever, you know, they don't accept people that look different. No, we do. If they are Israelites. We don't fuck around with Esau. We don't fuck around with Moab. We don't fuck around with Ammon. We don't fuck around with Ishmael. No, Esau is not in our midst. No. Man is an Israelite, man. Man is an Israelite. Knew that the first day I saw this dude. You know? And not only me, other brothers also. You see? So,
I had Galatians 3 and
read Ephesians again. Ephesians again. No, yeah.
This is it's Ephesians 3, verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of this mystery, which from the beginning of the world had been hid in the Most High, who created all things by Yahushua.
Exactly. So this truth, this mystery has been hid from the beginning, which when Yahushua came on the scene, it has been brought out. And now we preach the same thing that he has loosed, of which he has loosed the 7 seals thereof. And the purpose of the Most High has been made known, which was not known at that time, but is now known, being made known unto the world. Go on.
Verse 10.
No, go to Galatians. And this is the purpose. 3 and 21.
This is Galatians 3.
Now we're providing you with food convenient for you. Or not, brother? Brother channel, GMS, food convenient. Yeah. You see? With the food that's convenient for you is this truth, this understanding. Okay? Go on.
It's Galatians 3, verse 21. Verse 20. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but the Most High is one. Is the law then against the promises of the Most High?
Yeah, because they had the law. They tried to keep the law. They failed at it multiple times, Israelites, and the purpose wasn't known. Go on. So is the law then against the promise of the Most High? Wasn't there a way to get to the promises back then just by the law? Go on.
The Most High forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law.
Yeah, so at that time when Israelites was doing the will of the Most High, or tried to do the will of the Most High, there was not yet a way on, how we could make it into the kingdom. The scriptures, the prophets spoke about the kingdom. They spoke about, reaching eternal life. Even they spoke about the Lord Yahushua. That's why when Yahushua came on the scene, they asked themselves, is this the Christ? Is this the anointed one? Because they knew about it, man, because of the Old Testament. Okay? But how everything was going to be set up, that set purpose of the Most High, it wasn't really known unto the people, man, until Yahushua came and he explained everything. Go on. Because that's also what the mystery was. How can those Gentiles come back? How can those Israelite foreigners that are in a Gentile state of mind come back? Ephesians chapter 2 explains you through Yahushua the wall of partition is broken down. There's no difference between a Jew or a Greek, which is an Israelite that is in the Greek state of mind. Ain't no difference, man. Doesn't matter with what customs he grew up or whatever. If he turns back to the truth, if he turns back to the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then he's again one, man. That's why it says making of twain one. Yeah, and departing the enmity that was present, which is hatred. between those. Go on.
This is Galatians 3, verse 22. But the scripture had concluded all on the sin that the promise by faith of Yahushai might be given to them that believe.
See, so this is the purpose, that through Yahushai, believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you will receive the promise that was not known back then, how to receive the promise, but now is made known because Yahushai has brought the purpose of the Heavenly Father into the earth, was teaching it. I am the bread, I am the life. He that does not come through me shall not come to the Father. He that cometh to me shall have eternal life. They was losing it. They was like, what is he saying? What is this blasphemy? Blasphemy. Why was they losing their mind? Why was they losing their mind? Because they had no understanding. They didn't understand, man. It was a mystery to them, man. They knew, but at the same time, like I said, they knew about, is he the Christ? They was speculating like, is he the anointed one that was to come? No, he coming from Bethlehem. They was talking like this. But then when he said the things that he said, they lost their minds because they had no understanding of what really Yahushua came to do, and the purpose of the Most High wasn't known unto them, man. That's why Ephesians 3 and 10 says that it was not known unto the world, man. Okay, go on in Galatians.
Galatians 3, verse 23. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterward be revealed.
Yeah. You see, shut up unto the faith which afterwards should be revealed. So the purpose of the Most High was going to be revealed afterwards. But guess what? He that hath ears, let him hear. If you don't have, the understanding, everyone has ears. Let's say everyone has ears. Because, we was walking in Germany. Dude, oh no, you didn't see it. She was busy with other things. But dude, ear was hanging off, man. Dude, ear was just hanging there. Anyway, let's say the majority of people have ears, but it's not talking about having ears. It's talking about having the understanding, man. It's talking about knowing and comprehending the scriptures. If you have ears, listen to comprehend. But not everyone comprehends. So, hey, it's not for everyone, man. Many are called, but few are chosen. Okay, go on.
That's that word understanding. If you look up the word understand something, it's to comprehend.
Exactly.
Galatians 3, verse 24. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Yahushai, that we might be justified by faith.
Yeah, man. The schoolmaster is keeping you in check. It's the teachers. He keeps you in the way. Don't depart too much, man. Because, after this course, Yahushua is gonna come and he's gonna deliver you from the bond of the law. Because it was like a yoke. Because we could not keep the things of the law, man. It was like a yoke unto us, man. Okay? The ordinances that were contrary to us. What does that mean? The laws, ordinances, our commandments, it was straight contrary to us because we couldn't do it, man. We was fucking up. That's why we need Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, man. Okay? And like I said, go to 2 Peter's. We desire to enter into that rest, man. We desire to receive the promises. We desire to enter into the kingdom, man. That's the mentality that we have. Acts chapter 1 and 5. And then I'm done. You have the Acts? No, you read it.
5 is 1 or 1 is 5?
1 and 5. He has it already.
This is Acts chapter 1 verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time...
who is the day then? That's why I asked 1 and 5.
Acts chapter 1 verse 5. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days hence. When they therefore were come together...
Oh, then it's 4. Because I thought it said the disciples. Okay, read 1 and 5.
This is Acts chapter 1, verse 5. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be.
That's 4, right?
No, that's 5.
Oh, okay. 4.
This is Acts chapter 1, verse 4. And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith ye have heard of me.
Yeah, Yahushua commanded the disciples to not depart from Jerusalem, but to wait for him. So the disciples was like, yeah, wait for him, not depart from Jerusalem, because when Yahushua rose up the third day, Yahushua said, well, wait for me, I'm gonna come back. So they thought, okay, that's the second coming. Yahushua, when he was on the scene, he spoke about the second coming, right? He spoke about, I'm not gonna bring peace but a sword. So they was like, okay, so this is the second coming then. No. He came to break bread with them 40 days and 40 nights after he rose up the third day, and opened up their understanding, gave them the Spirit before he departed in a robe, which is a chariot. Go on.
Verse 5. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days hence.
That was the like the brother was explaining, the understanding that was given unto them, man. John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit, giving you the understanding, the purpose, and the will of the Most High.
When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
So is this gonna be, the coming? Is this gonna be the destruction of this wicked kingdom? Are you gonna restore the kingdom to Israel right now? They was excited, man. They wanted it to be right now. Just like how we want that. Hey, if you ask me, it can happen today, tomorrow, man. I remember one time we was teaching, and there was a heavy fog, man. And there was a plane that flew very low. So what I saw was 2 white orbs coming for us. And I said, yo, that's it. We're getting out of here. I was thinking this done, man. This is done. We done, man. I said, yo, with all the brothers like, no. And then the plane came out of the mist. I was like, and I still sit like this. I was like, oh, okay. But for me, it was like, yo, we out of here, man. I thought the chariots is coming down. But patience is the key.
Marcus has to come first.
The Mist, yeah, man, the Mist, the movie The Mist. Yeah, man, it was a lot of mist back then. And then, every week after that, the plane would always fly the same route, right? The plane comes, brothers be like, hey, fucking me up. We're like, yeah, I know it. Leave me alone. But hey, this is the desire that we have, man. We want the kingdom to come. We want this place to be finished, man. Okay? That's why the prayer is, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So, thy kingdom is coming, man. We know this. We pray for it. We pray, Abba Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and this place. Okay, destructure this place, which means all this bullshit that we see around, down to the ground and down to the foundation, be gone. Let's work, man. Let's establish a peaceful, beautiful place, with perfection, breathable air, oxygen, fresh water, okay, not to be paid for. Because we are actually paying for polluted water, man. Because why? This bottled water contains estrogen, microplastic. The pH value is only 7, and then you're drinking the good one. Certain bottled water says the pH level is certain bottles say it's like 8 or 8.5, and then when they test it, it's not even that, man. So that means they're defrauding, man. They are being the devil that they are, that the Bible speaks of. Go on.
verse 7, and he said unto them,
Oh, that was it. That was it. The second Peter's. That's why I pointed at you. I was like, man.
This is
Yeah.
2 Peter 3, verse
So they
12.
wanted the kingdom of Israel to come now. Is this the second coming? Well, we see certain signs. We'll be like, this is it, this is it. But then, hey, you know, like the rivers of water, the Most High is doing his thing. You know, be patient. It shall surely come. It shall not tarry. It's going to come, man. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. We have to have patience, man. And patience goes into suffering, which means endure in this wicked kingdom, man. Just deal with it.
Patience have this perfect work.
Yeah, go on.
This 2 Peter 3, verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, so we're looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, man. We want this place to go down, man. We want this place to end. We ain't looking for a place in this society, in this kingdom, man. We're looking for, you know, a place in the kingdom to come, man. We're laying up treasures in heaven. That treasure is just stored in the vault. Right there, yeah.
I have the word haste.
Yeah.
This is the word haste in the Blue Letter Bible,
This also.
in the outline of biblical usage. And it
Why
says, to haste, make haste, to desire earnestly.
So we desire earnestly. We desire the kingdom earnestly, man. We really want it to be finished right now, man. You know, every day. Every day. There's this song, you know, that the certain Jakes be putting under this under their video. It says, is this Jamaican dude. He says, oh, let me pull it up, man. Read on. He said, I'm sick of this place. Every day I gotta go to work. That's the vexation of the society, man.
But that's that guy with the boot? No. No, that's
No.
the cup. Let me see.
Oh, this.
I
But I used it. He's vexed, man. He says, I forgot bumbleclot work every day. Every day I wake up at a certain time in the morning, smelling some pussy hole I don't even like. Every blood clot day. Yeah, man. That's the shit that we gotta deal with, man. That's the faith and the patience of the saints. Every blood clot day. It's the same shit going on, man. That's why I hate Mondays, man. Oh, man. Brothers know, man, don't talk to me on Mondays because I'm always vexed, man. I always be like, hey, fuck this shit. Fuck this job. Fuck everything. My woman be like, hey, man, yo, shut up, man. Because some days I'm all about complaining, man. I'm like, fuck this, fuck that. I just want to complain. Just leave me alone and just let me complain. Because that's, you know, sometimes let me vent, man. Let me get all the shit out. And then when it's Tuesday, I'm cool. I just at the job, just do my thing, fixing everything. But the Monday, man, the testosterone levels is high. I sipped some liquor in the weekend to take away the stress. And then Monday, it punches me in the face.
Yeah,
Boom!
you're detoxifying and
Yeah, man. That Monday, it punches me in the face. Monday night, I need to work out, man. In order to fucking release the stress, man. But yeah, that's what we gotta deal with. That's what we deal with. That's suffering. That's patience, man. Okay, finish.
it's 2 Peter 3, verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah, man. We look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. That's the kingdom that's going to be established upon this earth, where we will have peace, rest, gladness, satisfaction, enjoy our children, be with our children, being able to be with our children. It's terrible that I even have to say this, man. Being able to be with your children. There's brothers that cannot even be with their children, man. Not even touch, hug their children, man. Shit, man. That's hell, man. That's pure hell, man. But guess what? Woe unto him or her that brings that hell upon you, man. If you are the cause of that hell, then you better do something. You better, yeah, you better do something about it to not be that hell no more, or you just put a millstone around your neck, man. Yeah, deal with it. Okay, go on.
Verse 14. 2 Peter 3, verse 14. Wherefore, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be delighted that ye
Diligent.
2 Peter 3, verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
Exactly, man. So our key mission is to be blameless and spotless and acceptable in the sight of the Most High, man. Assure yourselves before the Most High. Make friends with Him. Keep His commandments to the best of your ability. Stay in balance. Keep yourself in check. Because this is the purpose of man. And in order to make it. And if you don't want to fall short. You don't want to just miss a little bit, and then the Most will be like, not really, man, not really. Fire come down. Oh yeah, Hebrews 4:1. Because this scripture always keeps me in check. This is to always keep going hard for your all Bashim Shai.
This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 1. Let us therefore fear, lest they promised being left us, entering into his rest, any of you should come short of it.
Any of you should seem to come short of it, man. You don't want to fall short of the mercy and the salvation of the Lord, man. You don't want to fall short. Just make sure that you have enough works in, enough faith. You go hard for your Bashim Shai. Put up your prayers, man. Demons is fucking with your mind, man. Demons is fucking with your mind, not praying, man. You be forgetting to pray and stuff like that, man. When you put on your alarm for prayers, some periods of time should be like, hey man, I'm fucking up. Let me put my alarm. It says pray. But then when you have yourself in check, you be like, the alarms is not needed no more. But then the demon creeping up again. Oh really? The alarm's not needed no more. And then you catch yourself. You didn't pray yesterday. In the middle of the day, evening, you be like, I didn't pray this morning, I didn't pray in the afternoon. You be like, hey, fuck this shit, man. You rebuke that demon, not fuck the shit. You fuck that spirit of not praying. You rebuke the demon and you look how you can fix yourself up again, man. So, hey, I'm out here.
Can I say something while you was going into Hebrews 4? Because Hebrews 4 and 1 is a continuation of Hebrews the 3rd chapter, where in the end it talks about how certain men were not allowed to enter into the rest because of the lack of faith. And we in this truth, we should move by faith, man. The works that we perform is because of the faith that we have.
Can you give me Ephesians 2 and 8? And can you give me Revelation 21?
Come behind us, Victor. Which one first? Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
So this is what we're working for. This is what we're hastening for. That time comes, that there comes a new heaven and a new earth here upon this kingdom. This kingdom is going to be done away with, and the kingdom of Yashar Allah is going to be here. Because if you go into that word new, which is kainos, which means refresh. So it's not gonna be like some people think, the apocalypse is gonna come and everything is gonna explode and nothing's gonna exist anymore. No, man. If you go into that word apocalypse, apocalypse means revelation also. So these things are revealed unto the saints of the Most High. The secrets are revealed unto the servants of the Most High. You see? So if you can read it again.
This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Yeah, and the no more sea refers to these other nations, as it says in the book of Revelations. You know where it is with the sea.
Yeah, this is
with the harlot.
this is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
See, so the waters, the sea, represents these other nations, because this is Esau's rulership. But partly these other nations, they have their hand in it. When they have what was it, the G4 summit and stuff like that.
Something with the G,
Yeah.
G7, G20, and
so these people, these other nations, they come together, and then with Esau, they establish their plans. But in our kingdom, in Yahshua Allah's kingdom, there's not going to be any hand of any heathen in how things are going to be run, man.
can add on to what you're saying? Because during the last week, I came across the topic of how the people of Islam say that within the next 40, 50 years, they're going to be the ones to dominate this world with the Sharia law. But the Bible doesn't talk about such a thing, man. The same for these small-headed people, which are the people in the land right now. They think that they're the chosen people and therefore they're going to inherit the kingdom as well. But hey, yet again, it's not for them. It's not for the Arabs. It's only for Israel.
So we continue Revelation, second verse.
This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yeah, man. So this is what John the Revelator saw. He saw New Jerusalem, which Jerusalem represents the people. Because as the scripture says in, Revelation 15, we are going to be above the firmament. So we are going to be actually in the sky, and when everything has passed, then we are going to come down, because before that time, when the missiles are going to hit, we are going to be saved, because Yahushua, his name means salvation. So when Yahushua comes, simultaneously the elect is going to be saved, it's going to be beamed, and Yahushua is going to be here doing damage, pressing the wine press, but we are going to be standing above the firmament, looking down at the destruction. And back after that, then we are going to descend down from heaven. And that's what John the Revelator saw. Okay, give me that. Give me Revelation 15 and 1.
This is Revelation chapter 15 and verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that have gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
Yeah, man. So that sea of glass represents the firmament. We are going to be in the chariots, watching through the eyes and the lens and the windows of the chariots, looking at the destruction. And the victory.
This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive none of her plagues.
Yeah, man. So this is literally going to happen, that you're going to hear a voice, and we are going to ascend onto these chariots, man. Because like what you always see in the movies, people are being abducted, or what they say. So, oh yeah, you got that also. But we are going to be saved like this. Yeah, that's the one. Over here. We are going to be beamed up, and that's what the scripture says. Come up hither, and that you receive not other plagues, and the plagues are the nuclear missiles, right? The intercontinental missiles that are going to be shot from Russia and all these other nations that had the best habit that hates Esau, America, because America is that whore, that harlot. You see, what was that? In Obadiah, it speaks on that. All the men of thy confederacy.
Yeah.
Can you get that? Obadiah 1. And if you got precepts, then you can get it.
I have a precept on Revelation 21 and 2 as well.
No?
This is 2 Corinthians. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahushua.
What was that? 2 Corinthians?
2 Corinthians 11 and 2.
Look it up.
Because in Revelation 21 it talks about that a bride is coming adorned for a husband. And who's that bride? It's referring to the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Those that forsook the ways of the world and through the knowledge of Yahweh Shai got cleansed and became like virgins. And we're going to be the ones to come down from heaven. Dios.
See, I think there was another one in the book of Revelations also.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah, it should be. You see? Real quick.
Creator.
No, that I got. This is Revelations 19. Revelations 19 and 7.
This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready.
God, so we are that wife, according to Jeremiah 6 and 2. The Most High has likened Zion as a comely and delicate woman, and in Revelation 12 it also speaks about the woman with 12 stars, which represents Israel. So we are that woman that is making herself ready and adorning ourselves for the marriage with the Lamb, with Yahushai, which the Lamb is Yahushai, and that marriage, it doesn't go in any freaky shit. It's marriage means to be joined unto one another. So we are gonna be joint heirs with Yahushai, and we are gonna be married unto him, spiritually married.
Want to read on?
Yeah, read on until 9.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints.
God, so the linen that we can also, come to second address, also speaks about they receive crowns and they are wearing white. Second address. Yeah. So that white represents righteousness, and we are gonna be the ones wearing that white, which represents righteousness, because that's the whole purpose that we're going through this, man. Just like how Abba Bivens said, he said, we had to go through this to know what righteousness is. We had to see the wicked. We have to see the cause and live through it and see everything that is following after the choice, a bad choice. If you make a bad choice, then you got to live with the repercussions. And this is the repercussions. We're living with the repercussions. So we, now seeing wickedness, we desire righteousness. So we wholeheartedly follow righteousness. We now can recognize righteousness. That's one of the first reasons why I came into the truth. I started to see things about Illuminati. You see the darkness. You see that they really have the things of the world. They have money. They have cars. They have women. They have houses. Everything. They have everything. But then you see how come they have all these things, because they are Satan worshippers. So now you see the darkness. See, that's how it started for me. I see the darkness. I'm like, no. I want no dealings with this. Where's the righteousness? Where's the light? If you have dark, then there must be light. So that's when I started to look for light, for righteousness. And then you come across camps, not even camps. I know Christianity wasn't. I had to go for a Christian. I had to go to the Bible. So you had On Point, what was it? On Point something. You had a lot of ministries, and I was following him. With the Matthew 24 showing you that earthquakes in diverse places. I'm like, hey, this is this is happening right now. So this is the gospel. This is true. So I started to follow him, but then you see certain things where they go off. I'm like, yeah, My spirit doesn't resemble with your spirit. So you go looking even deeper, and then you find out Yahushua is a dark-skinned man. I'm like, whoa, mind blown proof. I'm like, hey, go to all kind of translations, see what it's written over there. Then it shows you that no, you got to go to the KJV, the King James version, 1611. That's the first translation from the Hebrew and the Greek. I'm like, okay.
Can you speak a little bit about it?
Go ahead.
Because the King James version is a version that was literally translated from those texts, and the versions you have right now are interpretation translations, which means those that compiled the translations, they put their own interpretation in it. But the King James version, they took the Greek, they took the Hebrew, and they literally translated those words, which had to go over multiple, had to go through multiple stages. Most people had to check it, see if they agreed on the translation before it was even published. So it took about 7 years before the King James version was even compiled to the book that it was.
Yeah, man. So I saw the darkness, and then I started to look for the light. Saw Yahushua's dark-skinned man, mind-blown proof. I'm like, hey, yeah, this is it. So you start to go between camps, and then you find GMS, and that's where you stick to it, man. Like, no, this is where my spirit is at ease and gets enough of this food, you know. So yeah, man. What are the scriptures that I gave you?
Obadiah and Ephesians.
Done. Give me the Obadiah. Give me the Obadiah first.
This is Obadiah 1 and 7. And the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, man. So that's what's gonna happen to Esau. He's gonna be baffled, like, huh? The men that I was sitting down with, eating bread, making bread, you know, making money with, they are gonna shoot missiles onto me. You know, so that's what's gonna happen. That's the end game for Esau, for especially in America. You know, America's gonna be that lake of fire. So the men of their confederacy, they are gonna turn against them. Put up a proverb. Can you get that in Habakkuk 2, and I think maybe 9. So they are gonna be against Esau, and they are gonna also be the ones firing missiles at Esau.
Take the proverb against King Babylon?
Yeah, Habakkuk 2. No.
Isaiah.
They should take a proverb against him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isaiah 14.
Really? Is this the man that had us so long ago? I have a scripture on what you said earlier. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left.
Yeah, man. So that's what happened to me spiritually, because I wasn't really on the street, and then I heard the truth. These people, they hear it, you know, but with me it was like, hey, I was looking for it, but then when I heard it, then it instantly clicked with my spirit. You know, I'm like, okay, so these are the men of the Most High, and then you start to see like, hey, you know, all the prophets, they were not in kings' houses and stuff like that. They weren't wearing beautiful purple garments. No, man.
Suits.
Yeah.
First. Like T.D. Jakes.
This is 1 John chapter 4 and verse 13. Hereby know we that we dwell in him and he in us, because he hath given us of his spirit.
Yeah, man. So that's how you can link with these prophecies that the prophets come out with, man. You're like, hey, wait a second. This is what my spirit has been yearning for. You know, the light, showing you that all these things, all this wickedness that you're seeing right here is gonna be done away with. It's gonna be swept away with the besom of destruction. Isaiah 14.
Can I add on to what you're saying?
Go.
Because through the Spirit, you also understand, you know, you can discern who is walking in the ways of the Heavenly Father. You know, and if you look at these other camps that promote, for instance, you can pop your female on the Sabbath, Isaiah 14 and 4. you can pop your woman on the Sabbath, or you can do certain other things that are messed up and taken in the butt and things like that. Thereby, you already know that they don't have the Spirit of the Heavenly Father upon them. But if you look at the man, GMS, starting off with how the Apostle GMS on down, you can see that they walk in the ways of the Heavenly Father, man, because He had given them of His Spirit.
Okay, give me the Habakkuk.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Yeah, man. So these other nations also they are in debt, because if you go into that word thick clay, it's abatayat. Abatayat, yeah, it's been a while. Which means debt. So even China and all these countries, India and the Ibadyat.
Nee, man.
Ik heb wel water hier, maar niet koud. Spa. Nee. Pak maar.
Laat even brengen dan.
So these other nations, which are also being oppressed, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a deal with you. They have certain sanctions and whatnot, but they're gonna take a proverb against them. They're gonna be against them.
Ik heb mijn mond niet eraan gezet. Abatyat, it says weight of pledges, heavy debts.
Yeah, man. This was in the time that I couldn't write the Hebrew. I'm like, what? I knew what it meant.
Abatayata. Abatayata.
Yeah, man. So these other nations, they're gonna be round about him. They're gonna be against him, and they're gonna bring him low, man. You see? Go back to Revelations 15.
I have Revelation, I have 2nd Ezra 2, and I also have Isaiah 14.
Yeah, give me the 2nd Ezra with the righteousness, because that's what we're looking for. We're striving towards that righteousness. And in the end, the Most High, He wants to see that you're willing, and in the end, He's going to grant you it, and He's going to give you that garment of righteousness in this dark. It's just like, who was it? Tupac, being a rose in this concrete. You're still...
He's no goddamn rose, man. He's fucking weed.
No,
because he destroyed a lot of minds of people.
Yeah,
with his folly rap bullshit.
He was set up to do that.
Folly, all these rappers. When you start talking about shooting each other, when you talk about fucking each other's wife and shit like that, then you piece of shit. Okay, and he ain't no rose, man. The men that teach this truth are roses that rose out of the concrete, man. Because this society is freaking concrete, and in order for you to flourish and grow up out of it, and righteousness is difficult. But the men that do so, they are like roses, man.
That's the whole analogy that I'm giving you.
But why Tupac then? Why Tupac?
Who made that song? I think the album. He made the album Rose Out of Concrete. I think. But that's what I was going towards. We trying out of this concrete being try to bring forth righteousness. Even though the scripture Isaiah 64, our righteousness as filthy rags.
I have a scripture.
Even though we have that, still the Most High is going to look at you like, okay, my son, even in this hard situation you were trying, now you are going to get the white garment, for the righteousness. Because that's why we had to go through this. We had to go through this hard concrete, and in Egypt it was called the furnace of the iron furnace. That was a hard bondage, and this is also a hard bondage. But still, if you're gonna pull through, then the Most High is gonna see that, and you're gonna get that garment of righteousness.
That's what it also said in 2 Peter 3. Yeah.
You get it? Yeah, the precept.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall overcome, and the truth which had been so long without fruit shall be declared.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. That's what was blooming now. That's what's starting to bloom, because the truth, you can't if you say that you don't know about the Hebrew Israelites, then you're a liar. Even if it's an other camp. You have camps all over the place. You see?
Yeah, and to flourish is to grow, but what flourishes? A flower. A flower flourishes. A flower grows, and the buds start to bloom, and that's the truth. That's what happened to this truth. So when we speak about the rose out of the concrete, this truth is the rose out of the concrete, man. This truth came upon us, so we became the rose. Just like how the scripture says, Yahushua is the light. He's shown the light upon us. So now we are the light, and we got to spread it in front of. We supposed to spread this truth in front of the light, in front of the people, man. Ye are the light of the world. How did we become the light of the world? By receiving this understanding.
And also the seed that fell on the concrete, the seed that fell on good soil. We are the ones that fell on the good soil. So now it's taking roots, shooting roots, and starting to flourish. God, can you give me the Isaiah 64?
It's Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags.
Read it again.
It's like it. Verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away.
Yeah, man. So all our righteousness is as filthy rags. So on this side, you're not gonna get it perfect, man. You're gonna strive towards it, but you're always gonna mess up. You want to keep the Sabbath perfect. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna buy something. You're gonna the real straight rules, straight law. You're gonna hold, but always something automatically pops in your mind. Your flesh takes over. You start to play music and stuff. I'm like, oh, no, it's just the Sabbath. So all our righteousness is as filthy rags, but still, you gotta put forth your best performance, your best foot. Be like, okay, I mess up, but still, you gotta get up and work towards it. And in the end, it's not gonna be for nothing. You have a precept?
Second Peter. This is Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 15. And account that the long suffering of the Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul also, according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you. So eventually the sufferings that we go through, within this truth, shall eventually, lead up to salvation, man. Which is something that we hope and strive for. That's why we endure what we're going through, because we know what's going to be laid up. Just like Yahushua, who already knew what he would eventually receive. He went through those things, man. We also know what's going to be laid up for us. We only need to go through it, man, to receive it.
Okay, get Galatians 5 and 1. Yeah. Because I want to bring a point out what the brother was speaking about, that it's...
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 1.
Romans 7 and 4.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Yahushua hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
Yeah, man. So the yoke of bondage, that represents the law. Because we were tied to the law. Before Yahushua, we were tied unto the law. That's the only thing that we had. Like what I was going into. Yahushua was spoken about in Isaiah 53, also in the book of Zechariah, and all throughout the Old Testament was also spoken about Yahushua. But so those were prophecies that had to be fulfilled. So the promise that Yahushua had to come, that had to be completed. So that not through works, not through the yoke of bondage that we would enter into the kingdom, no, but through having faith in His Son, the Word that became flesh. Can you give me the Romans 7?
This is Romans 7 and 4. Wherefore, my brethren, ye are also become dead to the law by the body of Yahushua, that ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth the fruit unto Yahweh Shem Yashai.
Yeah, man. So this is beautiful, man. This also shows you that we are married unto Yahushua. So can you read it again?
Yeah. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Yahushai.
Yeah, you see, so we are dead to the law. The law has no power over us. The law, it's there. It's beautiful. It's brings wisdom and knowledge unto you. But if the yoke of the law, the yoke of bondage, is not going to save you. You see, give me the Ephesians. You got the Ephesians 2.
Yeah.
Is it Ephesians 2 now?
This is Ephesians 2 and 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of Yahweh Shem Yashai.
You see, so we are saved through grace of the Most High. And what is that grace? That grace is the faith in the Son, and the faith in Yahushai, that He's going to come and redeem His people. You see, so we that faith in Yahushai. That's the key point, because all our elders, all the men that are written in the Bible, they live through faith. So we have to come on a certain level of faith in the Most High. Go back to the Romans 7.
Romans 7 and 4. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Yahushai, that ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto Yahweh Shem Yashai.
So we are married unto the Lamb. We are married unto Him that is raised from the dead. And who's that? That's Yahushai. So we don't have that yoke of the law on us anymore, but it's Yahushai. He's gonna lead you into the kingdom. Having faith in Him, and that we should bring forth fruit, of course. Because we ourselves, we learn this from men. And you, being as a tree in the fruit, if you give me that, Psalms 2. After a while, you're gonna get nurtured by the fruit. The water is the fruit, and then when you're full grown, then you yourself have to be bringing forth fruit.
Psalms 2?
Yeah, Psalms 2. Right? Psalm 1. Psalm 1 is speaking about the tree. Yeah.
Oh, the tree. Yeah. Psalms chapter 1, verse 2. But his delight is the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
You see? So Yahweh Tazah, we are those trees. When you are full grown, then you yourself are going to bring forth fruit, because you are the fruit of somebody else. You came into this fruit. The Most High brought you into this fruit through a man. And Yahweh Tazah, when you grow, you are near the truth. The truth is the water, and you as a tree, you grow up. You yourself are going to bring forth fruit. Because like Yahushai said, if a man doesn't bring forth fruit, he's going to be like a fig tree. He's going to be burnt. He's going to wither away. So it would be good for you to bring forth fruit.
Yeah, but do the work. Start off with that, because it's not like if you have 1 view or 2 views on all your videos, that means you're not bringing forth fruit, so you're going to be withered away. But it means like you need to do the work, man, and you need to abide in the vine, which is the Lord Jehovah Shai. Abide in the vine, and then just let me read. Abide in the vine, and then you keep doing the work, keep doing the will of the Most High. So in due time, in due season, you also will bring forth fruit.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 15 and the last verse.
1 Corinthians chapter 15,
I think it's
verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Yeah, man. You see, your labor is not in vain. So, like the brother said, it's not about the views. It's that one view that you got. That's the person that needed to hear that on that time. And sometimes you might have made so many videos that only now people are like, hey, wait a second, this is this channel. Oh, let me watch this, let me watch that. So it doesn't mean exactly on that time somebody is going to have something, is going to get something out of your lesson. Maybe after 2 years, maybe after 1 year, maybe after 6 months. So just keep doing the work and the fruit.
Yeah, because you have brothers also that be looking up titles,
certain breakdowns.
certain breakdowns, and they find your video 5 years ago. Not that brothers' pages stay up 5 years,
Yeah, that's it.
because that time is finished, man. Our pages be gone every year, man. So, yeah, man.
What did you have there?
Isaiah 14.
No.
Wrap it up.
The Revelation. What? When am I gonna wrap it up with?
I have a beautiful scripture. This is 2 Peter's chapter 1, verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail.
Yeah, man. So we gotta be diligent to make your calling and election sure. You know, you gotta give it your all, and if you do that, then you shall never fail. You don't be half stepping or being so. No, this is your limit. This is what you think you can do. Do +1, +2.
Yeah,
You know?
but keep everything in balance, because sometimes you go so hard in 1 week, you make like 10 videos in a week, and then the week after that you be like
Burnt out.
you have like crickets, you be like you know, you should be in a consistent flow. If you are in a consistent flow, then you just do your thing, you know, you go over your scriptures, you make your lessons, and everything flows correctly, man. Okay, but if you can do 10 videos in a week, and the next weekend after that, then that's your constant flow. Okay, then that's how you go hard. But like the brother says, if you add one to it and you try to maintain that constant flow, that's good, man. That's good. This is a marathon. This is a marathon, an endurance race, and not a sprint. So when you sprint, you burn out. That's why I said in the beginning of the camp teaching, try to keep yourself in balance at all times, man. If keeping certain commandments is messing you up a little bit, then give it time. Give it time, like the brother just mentioned. He sometimes he forgets the Sabbath. He turns on the music. He be like, oh, he turns it off. But some brothers, they listen to music on the Sabbath, not crazy drill rap music, but they just listen to some tunes or harp or some music. If that's what you prefer, then that's cool, man. It's not like you're gonna be destroyed if you do that. No, man. Just do your thing, and then listen to that if you want. And also wrap it up.
Yeah, man, and also with reading. You know, you're speaking about making videos, but if I sometimes read too much, and I'm like, hey, I read it, I know I read it. Where was it? You know, but then it doesn't stick. You know. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Grace Millstone for teaching us the truth, and who will well peace and citations unto the Hakim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth.